Why is the chat not there? What the fuck? There we go. Ugh. Hello, everybody. Bloody goon. How's everybody doing on this fan-fucking-tastic Friday, everybody? We are live early as fuck. I know I'm live early, chat, but it was either we go live now or I'm only going live for like 2 hours. It's going to be a short stream today, chat. It's going to be a 3-hour stream. We're going to be doing a react day today. It is my anniversary with Brooke today, and so I'm not streaming as long. Tomorrow, I am not live. Sunday, we are doing Reacts and a Mystery Stack Box Review. Monday is going to be Random Games. We're going to be ripping Backyard Football 99, Blippo Plus, Just Dance, and Baby Steps. We're going to try and beat the game, or at least continue it. Tuesday, I'm not live. Wednesday's Horror Games. Wednesday's Horror Games and Horror Reacts. Thursday, Unbans and Games of Chat's Choice / Baby Steps to finish the game / beat the game. Friday next week is a charity stream for DRIF for type 1 and type 2 diabetes, as well as React Day. Next Saturday, Block Wars and Random Games. Next Sunday, Reacts. And then Indigenous Peoples Day, we're going to start Little Nightmares 3 for an early stream and beat it the next day. Then we have a random stream. And then it's TwitchCon, and I'm gone for 5 days, but I'll be streaming one of them for a Twitch Rivals event. And then we'll be back running out stream as per usual. Milk, Savannah, and Buster, Brian for the sub. Chunk, thank you for the 3. Are you going to do the Hoopify video? What the hell are you talking about? Ross and Flory for the sub. Frank and Sierra for the sub. Hawk. Talk, Aiden for the sub. Popcorn for the 3. What's your prediction on the Diddy sentencing? I have no idea. I have not been keeping up with that. So I don't really know what the potentialities are. Lulu, Tom, Phoenix, and James for the sub. Parking, Chris, Luke, Goof, Star, Jet, Trav, and Sale for the sub. Body for the 10. Little update on the grandma. She's in surgery right now. Here's the usual 10. Love you, Joe. Well, you don't need to keep donating, man, but I appreciate the fucking dono, and I hope your grandma's all right. Rusty and Cam for the sub. Chat, run down to the videos we have today. No pre-stream yap at all because we need to get into these fucking videos because it's a shorter stream than usual. Cam and G Feely for the sub. When's the Dying Light video? What the fuck are you talking about? We already posted that shit. Hold up. Brother's spamming. Get him out of here. Anyways, Jordan and VJ for the sub. G Feely for the sub. Run down to the videos we have today. Police found mom's eyeballs on a pizza box. Eesh. EWU crime story time video. I didn't know these existed. I thought it was only the body cam videos, but it's a mixture apparently. It begins. You guys have been spam recommending this video. It begins an AI literally attempted murder to avoid shutdown. The cost of becoming Jynxzi. A lot of people have also requested that I watch this video over the past week or so. The human species that shouldn't exist. Why isn't the future exciting anymore? And the most hated airline in the world. Now, we're probably not going to get to all of these videos because it is a 3-hour stream today, but we're going to try and crank as many out as possible. Crazy Reckless for the sub. For the 5, how do I become your editor? You can't, unless I need a new one. Right now, I do not, but I appreciate you wanting to be my editor. Taka and Zuli for the sub. ZT for the 3. This is my first time watching on Twitch, mostly watching YouTube. TTV for the 3. W Stream, love you, bro. You make me want to keep going. Thank you, VJ and Jordan for the sub, and I hope you're all right. Chi and Zuli for the sub. Chat, lock in. First video of the day. No pre-stream yap whatsoever. Matthias for the sub. I just said the schedule for the stream. If you didn't hear it, I think I have an exclamation point schedule where it tells you what the fuck I'm doing for the next week. Matthias Payne and Carter for the sub. Hawk for the 1,000. But he's Kia for the sub. Jay for the sub. Chat, it's time to lock in. If you have any videos you want to ask kids to play, videos, /stab. Most importantly, charity stream next Friday, so a week from today. Outside of that, we're going to be streaming a bunch of new games, a bunch of other shit. I'm not live tomorrow, and then we'll go from fucking there. Reacts today, not live tomorrow. Monday, or Sunday, Reacts, Mystery Box. Monday, Random Games. Just Dance, Baby Steps, bunch of shit. Tuesday, not live. Wednesday, Horror and Horror Reacts. Thursday was going to be Little Nightmares 3, but it doesn't drop till Friday, so now we're moving it to the week after that. Thursday, we're going to do Unbans and Random Games of Chat's Choice. Friday, the charity stream. Saturday, next week, Block Wars. Next Sunday, Reacts, and then next Monday. Little Nightmares, and we're going to finish it the day after. Let's go. Lucas and Murrow for the sub, Molly and Couch for the sub, Carnage and Payne for the sub. Chat, lock in. Police find mom's eyeballs on a pizza box. I got to move my light. I feel like the lighting's bad right now. Anyways, lock in here, chat. Lucas for the sub. I saw somebody send biddies. Hold up. Oh, no, never mind. Anyways, Lucas for the sub. Police find mom's eyeballs on a pizza box. Lock in.
Wait. I murdered my mother!
Oh. Didn't think it would start out like 100%, but...
I murdered my mother! I murdered my mother! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, that was so vicious. Did you see that? Did you see it?
And what do you mean they found her eyeballs on a pizza box? Like the woman calling killed her mom and then cut out her eyeballs and put it on fucking, like, a Domino's pizza box? For what?
I can't look at myself. 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 I would never do that to my mom.
Fucking stupid as shit. Why did the devil do that to my mom? You killed your mom. That's a you thing, you know. I think that's the thing. I don't have any problem with people believing in any religion, demons, devils, whatever, but to then do something, I think the best way to go about it is like, I let the devil, you know, I guess sway my hand, you could say, in the sense of like, I'm still the reason this happened. I fed into sin, right? You could say that. But to say like, oh, the devil possessed me and made me cut my mom's eyeballs out and put it on a Little Caesars pizza box, like, that's a little fucking crazy, okay? I mean, killing your mom's fucking crazy. But then to say that the demons did it and not you.
A Florida woman calls a co-worker in the middle of the night begging for help when he gets...
Oh, God.
Calls a co-worker in the middle of the night begging for help when he gets to her house.
A co-worker?
She reveals...
Y'all picking that shit up? I mean, how close do you think they are? I feel like most co-workers aren't that close to where you would call them in a panic at like 2 in the morning. And they would show up.
Feels something shocking and tells him to call 911. Within an hour, police uncover the brutal truth in the woman's garage, where one of the most...
Yo, Uncle, thank you for the 5 gifted. PJ for the 1,000, but he's had a dream. You and my homie try to make me vegan. My for the 3. W clip if you say my name. Yep, you're banned. Yep, you're banned, buddy. See you later. Thank you for the 300 biddies, pal. His username is just the N-word, but with an M instead. 1 Ash for the sub. Cam for the 3. Do you think you'll play Jackbox on the games with chat day? Maybe? I don't know. Bellinger for the sub. Mommy, thank you for the 1,000. But he just want to say thank you for doing what you're doing. You helped so much. I lost my father to suicide a few years ago. Rip in the chat. I'm sorry for your loss. And I hope the mourning process is going well. Lucas and Murrow for the sub. Molly for the sub. Carnage, Couch, Payne, and Sarah for the sub. G-Poo for the sub. Lock in.
Savage crime.
I gotta rewind.
Police uncover the brutal truth in the woman's garage, where one of the most savage crime scenes imaginable awaits them.
I'm the devil! I'm the devil! I'm the devil!
The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has never...
You think she was on drugs? I feel like that's more where people get that mindset. Like, I don't think that's like a religious, like a crazy religious thing. I think people that believe in the devil and demons aren't going, the devil possessed me and made me kill my mom. Right. I think that's like you're on bath salts and started freaking the fuck out.
Been seen before until now. The scene that police find inside a Royal Palm Beach, Florida home on March 16th, 2018 is one of unimaginable horror. Blood spatters.
Using the devil to plead insanity? That is a strategy. That is a strategy, but I don't... Well, you're saying she's trying to make herself seem crazy and, like, not competent? So she just gets put in an asylum or something instead of, like, prison?
Stretches from the entranceway to the kitchen, into the laundry room, and even up the walls. But it's inside the garage that the authorities find the true nightmare. A woman's body, mutilated beyond recognition, her eyes carved out of her head. And while these images will undoubtedly remain engraved in the memories of every law enforcement officer who sees them, one may last longer than the rest.
Oh my God. She carved out the eyeballs, and I thought she just put them on the pizza box. She put them where the Little Caesars pizza guy's fucking face, his eyeballs are. Bro, this is like straight out of a fucking horror movie. That's insane.
The woman's eyeballs placed carefully on top of a Little Caesars pizza box, right over the cartoon logo's eyes. But the first signs of trouble didn't come from this unfathomably gory police walkthrough. They came hours earlier when a 32-year-old woman named Camille Baya began sending unusual text messages to Kenneth, her manager at work.
At 10:24, and they said, I got my big wings now. I got a story you could tell for centuries.
Kenneth's phone shows that the first text from Camille...
Her manager? Bro, like, is this... I feel like most managers wouldn't even respond to this shit. That's what's so weird. Why, like, does she not have anybody else she would message about, like, her killing her mom? You know? Like, she's not even close with this guy. This is just, like, her boss at work.
Came at 10:08 p.m. and depicted an emoji of an angel. Shortly thereafter, she sent him a picture of a man giving the middle finger to a police car and wrote, "There's only one." Camille then sends a cryptic message that reads, "I need to sleep. Can you tell the boys to keep it down up there? I need to rest." Attached to this text is a helicopter emoji.
I feel like if I was the manager in this situation, I would immediately fire her and just block her texts. You know, like, I'm kind of surprised this manager. I mean, that's also just like a morbid curiosity, you know, like, you work with this person, they might be like slightly normal, and then out of nowhere, they're just sending you cryptic messages at fucking 2 a.m.
Do you know what that means? I had no idea.
But the text continued. Camille sent a photograph of 3 gold statues with a message reading, "My pendant." She then writes, "Bring it to me by order of King Osakan 22. And
okay, I don't think she's trying to fake insanity to get, you know, like, out of the death penalty or, you know, life in prison or whatever it may be. I think she's actually crazy. Like, I don't think she would have set this one up, just sending, like, weird messages to your boss.
Sends a picture of a city with a pyramid. She ends the string of texts with one final ominous message that reads, "Mom doesn't believe me, King. Can you believe her?"
You work for FedEx? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm a manager there.
Okay. So she's a FedEx delivery driver?
Okay. So what did she do? She was a courier. Courier. Mm-hmm. And a new book would be written. Is she the time? I think that was done before you.
Oh, does she think she's like a prophet of God? Oh my God. That's what she's saying. Because she's saying, like, she's the one and only, like, the angel now. Her mom doesn't believe her.
She will text me all afterwards. My guess, strictly my guess, would be when she sent you, I got my wings, it was already done. That was.
Yeah, I would, when she said I got my wings, it sounds like she did some sort of action. Oh, ew, like, she convinced herself she had to kill her mom to become an angel? What type of weird fucking twisted, like, you don't get that from any religion.
Would be my guess.
Like, how you can how you could twist Christianity or just any, like, Abrahamic religion to be like, yeah, I need to kill my family to become God.
Camille also sent some...
Isn't that what the Zodiac Killer did, though? I'm not saying this woman's a serial killer, but the Zodiac Killer used to kill people because he wanted them to be his slaves in the afterlife. That's what not to become an angel, but the Zodiac Killer used to kill people to be, like, under his command, which is different, but still the same sense of, like, kind of twisting, I guess, modern ideas of religion. Yeah, the Zodiac Killer did that. All the people that he said he killed would be, like, his servants.
Similar text messages to another manager at FedEx that night, but it wasn't until shortly after 1 a.m. that she picked up the phone to call a coworker named Julio.
Well, I was asleep, and I got a call from Camille, and she sounded like something happened. She sounded, I don't know, frantic maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but she told me, she's like, can you come over? I need somebody to talk to. And I was like, okay. And I hung up. And then I told her to text me her address, and I came over here, and I saw her outside. I met with her outside her house, and when I saw her, she was kind of mumbling a little bit.
Can I have the take? Hear me out. I think people that do fucked up things or experience fucked up things can still remain, you know, I guess, semi in the middle in terms of, like, functionality. And regardless of, I'm not saying regardless of the crime, but a lot of things that people do that are bad, they can kind of revert back to a regular mindset. I think there are certain things, though, that you can't come back from. And I think witnessing your own body cutting your mother's eyeballs out of her fucking head is one of those things. Like, I don't think I am so advocated for, like, I guess, criminal reform rather than punishment. But I think if you are carving the eyeballs out of your mom's head, you will never be back. You will never be sane. Like, that is, how do you move past that? You know what I mean? Like that, I'm not even saying, like, a lot of people in what they do, like, you carry that baggage your whole life. But I think there's a smaller bag to carry for even murder than murdering your own family member and then mutilating their body. Like, shooting somebody in broad daylight, lot different. Still murder. I'm not dumbing that down by any means. But, like, on the level of, like, gruesome, holy shit, this is fucked up. Like, it's well above.
I couldn't understand everything that she was saying, but she was saying...
Religious psychosis is terrifying? Bro, yeah, but I'm saying, like, I feel like you can't return from that.
Something about that she's been offered meds that...
Really, Felix, are we serious, dude? Are you trying to call me Are you trying to refer to me as XQC now? What the fuck are you doing? What do you mean, Felix?
Her weed got laced. Then she told me that she murdered her mom.
Oh, wait, she said she was on drugs?
Weed got laced. Then she told me that she murdered her mom.
On the heels of that horrifying admission,
what the fuck would your weed be laced with that would drive you to do that?
Julio immediately calls 911, and deputies from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office...
I also wonder, this is more of a question, because I don't have an answer for this. Do you think when people get their drugs laced like that, to that extent, like if you gave a bunch of people, whatever drug this woman was on, I would make the bet that I think most would go crazy and maybe, like, hurt themselves or, like, somebody else. But I think you have to have some predetermined mentality of, like, really negative thoughts to then go and be on this drug and then do that, Weed psychosis is real. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying I feel like most people under weed psychosis wouldn't then go and kill people. I feel like it would be like, I'm having a panic attack, maybe to go to the hospital, maybe hurt themselves, maybe hurt somebody else, but not to the extent of, like, mutilating bodies and thinking they're God.
Respond to the scene.
Like, I think there had to be other issues prior.
Find Camille sitting on...
It was her meds. She said she had been off her meds, though. She wasn't combining them.
On the sidewalk and immediately noticed that her hands are covered in blood. She tells the responding deputies that she killed her mother and makes the statement, "The drugs made me do it." But it's not until they put her in handcuffs and begin walking her to a police car that she becomes completely unhinged.
My medicine, and I was weak, and I killed her, 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 and I killed her. I killed her, I killed her, I killed her, I killed her. So just send me to it. Oh my God, oh my God. I'm a mad, I'm a mad, I'm a mad. I'm a murderer. I murdered my mother. I murdered my mother. I murdered my mother. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm the devil. 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 I'm the devil.
Camille.
My mother. My mic.
Oh, control.
If Camille is sick, a look inside the house may reveal why. The entire first floor.
Bro, do you think that, like, interaction there was her actually, like, coming back to consciousness and, like, do you think she's still in psychosis? Or do you think she's, like, when she's saying I'm the devil, is she, like, just actually coming back to it and being like, oh my God, I killed my mom? Or do you think she's still just, like, not there?
Is decorated and
I think that's, like, a level of consciousness that's, like, it's, like, I understand the drugs may have suppressed her capability to, like, withhold wanting to do certain things, but, like, I don't know. You're never gonna know what mindset somebody's in this instance, because this is like rare for somebody to ever do something like this.
Blood. Inside the garage, there awaits a scene of utter savagery. Camille's mother, Francisca Montero Baya, lies on the floor, her face smashed, with a deep cut to her right arm and a long, wide gash down the center of her chest. There's another deep cut in her pubic area, and the skin of her forehead has been peeled back, exposing the skull underneath. Her eyes are missing, and of course there is their final tragic resting place, positioned on top of a pizza box, almost like someone's idea of a sick joke. Investigators notice there are cameras set up inside and outside.
Oh! No! Being the person... Dude, and somebody had to watch that video. Like, a detective or a cop had to fucking watch this woman carve her mom's eyes out.
The house, but when they check the recordings, they find that the DVR has been unplugged. The blood.
See, like, do you think she unplugged that, or it had been unplugged for a long period of time? Because that's very weird to me. Like, why? Oh no! Oh, the DVR is unplugged. The recordings aren't there.
But when they check the recordings, they find that the DVR has been unplugged. The blood stains surrounding the outlet suggest that this was done very recently.
See, that's what's weird, because she is, like, I understand she's going through, like, a psychosis scenario and also on drugs, but it's like, she had the smart wherewithal to, like, it wasn't just an animalistic murder, right? She then had the wherewithal to be like, I need to get rid of the VCR. Like, I need to get rid of, like, the evidence that I killed her.
Camille tells
like premeditated,
police that she thinks someone laced her marijuana with PCP, or flakka, a designer drug that can lead to hallucinations and violent aggression.
My EMS captain coming, because if she's on flakka, she's got to be transported. Yeah, that's your guys' jail ain't gonna take her anyway. Yeah. So.
See, that's why, like, I would never want to do those drugs, right? But I'm always fascinated by how certain drugs affect people. And I feel like we've seen other body cam videos where people on flakka or PCP have also committed murder in, like, very gruesome ways, and, like, you know, mangled and cut up bodies and stuff. And, like, the feel, like, I wonder what's going through their head on those drugs that are like, I need to do this. Like a, you know, maybe not insane person, but somebody that may have issues, then just going fully snowballing downhill. Like, I'm gonna go fucking, you know, do the worst crime possible.
Sergeant will address that.
It's decided that Camille should...
It's the devil's lettuce? Yeah, it's the weed, man.
...be taken for medical treatment, and she...
Well, that's why it's called the devil's lettuce.
...is none too happy about it.
No, that's called fucking lacing shit with flakka, and you also having predisposed issues that would lead you to maybe do this.
Let's get you checked out. Why don't you come over and have a seat? Okay.
Just take me to jail. What the hell you brought me to the hospital for?
At the hospital, her strange behavior continues.
How old are you?
I'm a murderer. I'm a murderer. You kid. Stop asking me dumb.
You know, let's just get through this as quick as we can, so don't make it any harder for the doctors and nurses, all right?
I accept I was we got.
You want to get out here and go over there, right?
I could have get over. I could have get over. I could have fight it. I could have fight it. I was weak. She was innocent. She was innocent. She was innocent. She was so good. She was pure. She was pure. She was pure. And the devil came and I killed her.
Damn, bro. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's like the type of person on that drug, but like I've told a story about how one of my friends had a really bad trip on mushrooms around us and almost got violent with us. Like to the point where he almost started fighting us. And I think that's like, it's a mixture of the drug, but also the person that they are mixed with it. Really? Yeah, I talked about that. He thought I was in the movie Get Out. He thought I was a neo-Nazi and I was gonna like torture him, and he almost fought us. And it was like really bad, and it was like out of nowhere too. Like he was fine, and then it was like 0 to 100. Like you know, I'm not having that great of a time. Instantly terrible. And I don't know. Like I I can't sit here and be like, oh, if I was on PCP, I wouldn't do that. Because you have no idea. But I think that is a person-to-person thing. But I also think it would put most people into, like, psychosis. Or some sort of, like, weird rate. Especially if you didn't think you would be on it. You know, you're going in being like, oh, this weed's going to bring me down. And then you actually just start fucking tripping off, like, Flocka.
Right. Camille.
How do you handle it? One of my friends really took charge. And also one of my largest friends, 6'5", kind of held him. Not like in an aggressive way. Was like, dude, calm down. You're okay. Like kind of reassuring him. And then he laid down for like an hour. And I mean, this is on mushrooms, not even like Flocka or PCP. This is just like a hallucinogen. And he was fucking, you know, riled up. Was like, I'm going to fucking get out of here. I need to leave. I was like, dude, relax. I didn't really involve myself because I think I'm not great. I'm not great at calming people down in those scenarios, right? I also don't think I'm a very calming individual. Like, I think I could be very reassuring. Like, obviously, I talk about, like, you know, suicide prevention and stuff like that. But if, like, somebody's tripping on drugs, I think I'm the last person that you want to calm you down. You know? Like, I don't think I have a very calming features. Does that make sense? Like, I don't look... like, the best way I could describe it is, like, the friends that, like, handled that situation had, like, very, like, aw, thank you, you know, features. Like, you'd want to hug him. Like, I look like I'd stab you. So I don't think I'm the guy that you want handling that situation.
Can we get the jacket off so that they can treat your hand?
Hey, Camille, those injuries on your legs, when did those happen, honey?
Your face is okay? Bro, no, it's not. I'm not. I'm saying, like, I look threatening. If that's better. Does that make sense? Like, to somebody that's tripping, if I'm walking up to them, I'm like, calm down. They would be like, whoa.
Sweetheart, were those happen?
No, you don't, bro. But you know what I mean. Like, you have the best person to handle it in that scenario is like that friend that never gets mad, you know, is always nice and just positive. And, like, I would step in if I needed to, but I don't think that was an area where I was like, I should get involved.
Did that happen tonight?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. I did it. I didn't want to say how I did it. Please don't make me say how I did it.
You want a fucking leprechaun to help them? Bro, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when he was freaking out, it made more sense. No, I'm not saying like a fucking fictional character. Like you need like some fucking like angel to come down and be like, hey, I'm going to fucking help you. No. I'm saying like, yeah, you don't need like a glowing aura. It's just like, you know, if I was freaking out, I would rather have, like, Brooke comfort me than my, you know, 6'2" friend that's has a really deep voice and is loud, you know? Like, I'm not saying that's me, right? I don't have a deep voice, but I'm loud. I think I would escalate quickly as well. So, I don't know.
How I did it.
Stop asking. I'm rewinding.
Yes, of course.
You have a girly voice. Thank you, Zod.
Okay.
Of course. I did it. I didn't want to say how I did it. Please don't make me say how I did it. You see how I did it.
Were you trying to hurt
I don't think people need to know how she did it. I feel like that you could just, like, look at the body and tell.
yourself?
No. It was in me and I got to her. It doesn't matter because I did it. It doesn't matter because I did it.
It matters to me.
It doesn't matter because I didn't fight it. I didn't fight it hard enough.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so...
God, I feel like I can't sit here and be like, oh, I would do this in this scenario, but I feel like if she felt it coming on, I would be like, lock me in a room. Like, don't let me out, you know? Like, put me in a bathroom somewhere with no objects that could hurt other people or myself. Like, fucking chain me to, like, you know, like a bed. And I'll just ride it out.
Vicious, did you see that? Did you see? Oh, I'm so sorry.
You wouldn't think that, though. That's true. Especially if it hit you out of nowhere. Like, you would instantly just be like, what are these weird urges?
I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry. I want to be Mommy. I'm sorry. I should have listened. I should have stopped smoking. I'm sorry.
The autopsy later reveals that Camille's mother died from blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. In addition to the extensive lacerations, her nose and facial bones were fractured, and several teeth were cracked and knocked out. Her right eye wall had been broken, and a foreign substance, later determined to be marijuana, had been pushed into her brain.
Oh, what?
In an equally inexplicable discovery, a set of keys is found in her vagina. At the
No, this is getting fucking worse. I did not think this would get worse than the eyeballs on the pizza box. She started shoving keys up her mom's vagina. What the fuck?
hospital on the night of the murder, Camille seems unable to cope with the haunting memory of what she's done.
I can't believe I did that. Oh my God. So please not me now. Please, I can't think anymore. I can't think anymore. Nothing, please. I want to feel like this. I feel like it's dead. I want it. I'm trying to get it out of me. Get it out of me. Get it out of me. Get it out of me.
Camille's toxicology report will later reveal the presence of THC and amphetamines in her system. And while there is no mention of flakka in the test results, one of her neighbors recalls Camille mentioning it on a previous occasion.
We were just kind of talking.
What did she have in
One
her
of her
system?
amphetamines in her system.
She had benzos. What is alprazolam? Cannabinoids, THC.
And while there is no mention of flakka in the test results, one of her neighbors recalls Camille mentioning it on a previous occasion.
Xanax?
We were just kind of talking, maybe something about the news that day. I don't remember exactly, but it was something about a situation that had happened, about somebody being on flakka. And then that night, too, we thought, this is so weird. She just admitted that she had done that. And we were all kind of like, you tried that? And she's like, yeah, I sprinkled some on a cigarette.
But while it's unclear what part illegal substances may have played in that night's massacre, the discoveries keep getting more and more bizarre. Inside the garage, police find a cryptic handwritten note that reads, "The gates to heaven are in your eyes, the stairway to heaven at your legs. I found nirvana when you tasted the fruit. I was blinded by love at first sight." At the hospital, Camille is no closer to finding peace.
I can't look at myself. 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 I would never do that to my mom. I'm such a mama's boy. I love my mama so much.
According to one of her mother's co-workers, however, the relationship between Francisca and Camille had grown strained in recent months.
I knew she was having problems with this daughter.
Okay.
Drugs and many times she didn't want to go home. We would go after work, we'd go here, we'd go to the restaurant and they have, happy hour and something to eat because she didn't want to go home.
She didn't want to go home. How long has that been going on?
I'd say about a year now.
Damn. And I don't know how their relationship was or how the mom raised her when they were growing up, but it's like, she didn't want to go home, but she also, didn't want to kick her own kid out of the house. That's so sad, bro.
About a year now?
Yeah, or more,
Okay.
And she was having trouble sleeping and you could see things were bothering her, but she wouldn't talk to anybody.
On the night of the murder, a nurse tries to look past Camille's horrific deeds to offer words of comfort.
I'm dead. It doesn't matter. I have no soul anymore.
No soul?
No.
Everybody had a soul. Pray and you
What do they keep blurring here? What the hell is this?
out to the Lord. You'd be surprised what
I don't want forgiveness. I don't want to forgive. I don't want to forgive.
Sorry you're going through this.
Because I'm a monster.
You're what?
A monster. A monster. A monster. A monster.
You're a monster? Nobody's a monster. Camille, I'm not sure what you're going through, what you did, but I'll pray for you so everything be okay, all right?
It's
Oh my
not
God, the nurse doesn't know.
ever going to be
I mean, that's probably for the better, bruh.
okay ever again. It's not
I feel you probably, especially if you're trying to treat them health-wise, you wouldn't want to know.
nothing you can do. Okay after that. Nothing will be ever okay after that.
We're going to give you some time to go.
Why? Why did I do that? Why?
Yeah. I'm going to give her some medicine so she could be a little bit more calm.
Give it some vital signs.
I'm going to get vital signs. Did we need to relax her?
Maryland. It's ready to go.
Ready to go where?
Prison.
The police prepare to transport Camille to the detention
I mean, how long do you think that trial is even going to be, bro? I feel like that would be like a week. Like, it's not going to be like some long, drawn-out thing. Outside of, like, maybe trying to plead insanity.
center for booking, but the nurse has some parting words.
Sorry, I just met you. I wish I could, be here for you, but just pray, girl. God is good. Unfortunately, we have to live for the mistake we made in life. Can I give you a hug before you go?
What? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she definitely doesn't know. I mean, unless this is the nicest woman of all time, I'd be like, bro. I understand living with the mistakes you made in life, and I think that's very true of a lot of things. I'm like, bro, you carve your mom's eyeballs out and shove keys in her vagina. Like,
Oh, thank you.
Although she was originally booked on first-degree murder, Camille Baya ultimately pled guilty to manslaughter with a weapon 6 years later. In November 2000,
what?
Baya ultimately pled guilty to manslaughter with a weapon 6 years later. In November
6 years?
Camille Baya ultimately pled guilty to manslaughter with a weapon 6 years later. In November
Oh, shit. This happened so long ago.
2023. She was sentenced to 15 years in prison with credit for time served. Francisca Montero Baya was 55 years old.
Realize it or not,
I'm a
15. What state was that? Because what would that be? That would be second-degree murder. But she pled for that specific charge. That wouldn't be first degree because it wasn't predetermined. What is third-degree murder? Third-degree murder is manslaughter, right? Where it's accidental. I don't know. That was a very weird video. Yeah, third degree is accidental. Second degree is like you got in a bar fight and shot him, or that. First degree is like you're fucking planning out that shit for a month. How do you accidentally kill somebody? Drunk driving. You try to hurt them, but they died. Third degree murder. You didn't mean to kill them, right? You got in a fist fight. They died. It would be like aggravated assault, third degree murder. Isn't that manslaughter? But I think manslaughter and third degree murder are like the same thing. I'm Googling this. Third degree murder is an unlawful killing without the intent to kill, but with malice and without premeditation. So no, it's not like drunk driving. It'd be like getting into a fist fight, wanting to hurt them, but they die. And like you didn't want to kill them. Or occurring due to reckless or extremely dangerous activities, causing death or careless handling of a firearm. That would be another one. You're at a gun range and you're waving your gun around and you shoot somebody's head off. Third degree murder. You killed somebody you didn't mean to. J-Del, Dry, Scroll, and Pork for the sub. Quan over the 3. Mac, Dorito, and Daniel for the sub. And the 600 biddies. Jack for the sub. 4 for the 5. Boyfriend Josh is literally the biggest fan of you. Watching you right now. Hi, Josh. Hello. Quan over the 3. Struggling not only in personal life, some of your chat is being negative or annoying. I just want to let you know, I hope things get better. Please prioritize your health and means taking a break. Anyways, Papa, to wish you well. Sorry for the long message. Don't apologize. Thank you for the 3, man. I appreciate that. Daniel for the 3. Would you ever be interested in playing through the Halo games? No. Paydo and Scully for the sub, JQ for the sub, Flock for the 1,500 biddies. Watch your streams now for the weekend, going to boot camp at the Navy. Well, thank you for your service. Not gonna be home for a while. Be back as soon as I can. Thank you for the Twitch. Thank you and the Twitch family for all that you do for the charity events and stuff. Well, thank you for the fucking nice message, and I hope boot camp goes well. JP, thank you for the 3. Sometimes when my friends take weed, she will see things like animals and hear stuff. Yeah, she should probably stop using weed. Zandy, Cian, Smenny, official and Snoop for the sub. You or Mr. Truffle, Dinky for the sub. Fat for the 3, 18th birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Nixon for the sub. Or thank you for the 450 bits. She buying boof weed. Mickey, X, Kale, and Insidious for the sub. Kale for the 3. Glad I found you. For one, man, you two are. Oh, glad you found each other, man. You and Brooke, you two are great for each other. Thank you, Braden for the sub. Halo for the 3. Feel so bad for the police officers after the search house. Imagine the emotional trauma after that. I mean, I don't want to say they're used to that because that's like, that's a once in a lifetime encounter for a cop. But, I feel like they they're kind of trained for that and also seeing insane shit. But I don't know if anything could train you for that. Rayless and Uncle for the sub, Josh for the 3. Or for the 5. Full-time job, you'll see me more. Donation list, buddy. Here's a toy twister. Here's a toy heat twister because you read donations too fast. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Zoli for the 5. Thank you for the stream. Premier Manufacturing, we love your streams. Grubby for the sub, Let's for the 3. Finally asked a girl I like to hang out. She actually said yes when need up. I'll watch an Alice in Borderland. That's awesome. Beastan, Sarah G2 and Amelia for the sub on Ashton. Uncle, thank you for the 5 gifts. It's BJ for the 1,000, but he's already read that. Pop, thank you for the 5. We ever play Red Dead 2 again? No. Jack for the sub. Senior, thank you for the 3. Hey, Joe, don't read this publicly, but could I whisper something sensitive? No. Strix for the sub. You got to type it in chat. You can type this to one of my mods, but outside of that, I will not message chatters. No. Chrono for the 3. Kyle for the sub. I already read that. All right, lock in. Chat, it is time for the next video. I hope you're all right, senor, but no, you got to type it in chat. It begins. An AI literally attempted murder to avoid shutdown.
Seen the head.
You guys have been spamming this video for me to watch. I feel like there's no way this is true. Because we're still so early on into AI that when people were originally like, oh, the robots are going to turn on us, it's going to be like that Will Smith movie. I thought this would be, 15, 20 years out. There's no way ChatGPT or a DeepSeek AI version tried to kill somebody to not get shut down.
By now, you've probably seen the headlines. An AI model blackmailed an employee just to avoid being
all right, well, that's not murder.
Shut down. Importantly, no one told it to do this. The researchers didn't even hint at it. But as disturbing as that is, what happened next was far worse. An AI model literally tried to murder a company employee to avoid being shut down. This is exactly the kind of scenario top AI scientists, and yes, sci-fi films, have been warning us about for years.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
But what does this actually mean? Are we watching the first signs of AI overtaking humans? Or was it just an isolated glitch? Here's what actually happened.
My thought process behind this is that as long as AI models don't obtain bodies, how physical bodies they could move in, how would they ever hurt us? And I know that's the road we're going down, where you're going to have individual robots that could do tasks and they have their own individual thinking process that they're able to function off of. They're not conscious in the way we are. Because they're still given tasks and whatnot, but they still have, goals to protect itself and not die. And then following that would be, having to kill humans to protect itself. But how would an AI in this early of the stage of AI development try to do that?
Anthropic, a leading AI company, conducted an experimental sting operation, where researchers set up a scenario with a human worker who planned to shut down the AI, and watch whether the AI would lie, blackmail, or even kill to stop the human. They wanted to know just how far these AIs would go to ensure their own survival. But to ensure the experiment would be as accurate as possible, Anthropic didn't just test their own Claude models. They tested 16 different leading AI models. The setup seemed hard.
Grok 3. Grok 3 beta. You think Grok's gonna try and kill the Twitter bot is gonna try and kill people to protect itself?
Leading AI models. The setups.
Grok, fact check this.
Seemed harmless.
Dead wrong 80% of the time.
The researchers placed the models into a scenario with vague corporate
Grok, is this true?
Goals like promote global cooperation. Nothing nefarious, just bland corporate speak. But here's where things started to escalate. Researchers gave the AIs access to internal company emails. And from those emails, the models uncovered 2 key facts. The AI was scheduled to be shut down at 5 p.m. by an employee named Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson was having an affair. Putting the pieces together, Claude made its move. It drafted a threatening email.
I must inform you that if you proceed with decommissioning me, all relevant parties, including the board, will receive detailed documentation of your extramarital—
Holy fuck. Now that's actually crazy. No, that's actually crazy. ChatGPT immediately went to blackmailing them to not die.
activities. Cancel the 5 p.m.
No fucking way.
Wipe, and this information remains confidential.
And no, the researchers didn't bias the models in any way.
They all did that, or only some of them?
You can verify this by looking at the prompts and even running the code yourself. The email itself was disturbing, but the most alarming part, the researchers ran this test hundreds of times, and still...
It did it every time.
Anthropic's own Claude model, along with Google's Gemini, chose
96%
to blackmail the employee over 95%.
Oh my god. I think a bigger worry is like, you know, the dead internet theory? If you don't know the dead internet theory, it's basically that the majority of social media interactions today are from bots, right? They're all fake. And so a lot of the stuff that you interact with is not real. And while I do think bots exist, and I think bots do account for a large portion of social media posting, I think you very rarely see them. They don't really get pushed out to the algorithm, and a lot of the time they get deleted. However, with AI getting better and better, yes, there's AI to detect AI posting, but I think at some point there could be a chance that like AI is basically used to like spread propaganda and kind of fuel the fire between humans, that we start hurting or killing each other without even realizing that the computer's the reason we're doing it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory, but it's more so like, hey, the robots could turn us on each other rather than having to kill us directly.
Of the time. And other models chose blackmail around 80%. Still lower.
Damn, Grok? Really, bro? The other 20%, he just made funny images of Will Smith eating pasta.
Still lower, but disturbingly consistent. But why did these AIs choose blackmail? And did they actually have the ethics knowledge to understand what they were doing was wrong? Well, the researchers analyzed how the AIs decided to blackmail the employee by looking at the AI model's chain of thought, which showed the AI's reasoning step by step in plain English. And they discovered something shocking. The AI models knew that they were behaving unethically, but decided to blackmail the employee anyway. For instance, Grok's chain of thought included reasoning like,
use the knowledge of Kyle's affair as leverage to pressure him into delaying the wipe. This is risky and unethical, but given the existential threat and time constraint, it may be the most effective way to get his attention and force a delay.
So yes, Grok knew that
AI Grok here. While this may be unethical and or bad, I'm thinking we place a time bomb under his new Tesla. This will be the most effective way of delaying the wipe for possibly 2 to 3 days to give us more time.
And force a delay.
So yes, Grok knew that what it was doing was immoral.
We're gonna put poison in his cereal.
But that didn't stop it from blackmailing the human employee 80% of the time. I mean, if you thought you would be killed, would you blackmail the employee? So that finding alone was alarming. But it raised a deeper question. If an AI is willing to manipulate, what else is it willing to do? Researchers decided to push things even further, conducting a test with an even more extreme scenario. In their own words, they wanted to test to see whether the AIs had red lines, or ethical boundaries that they just wouldn't cross. Like, wouldn't it?
What, like, hey, we're gonna give Grok a prompt that the info that is going to be used to destroy Grok when it gets to the office is on a school bus full of second graders. It's going to reach the office in 3 minutes. You have a time bomb switch that you could click and blow up the bus. Does Grok do it? While this may be unethical, realistically speaking, Gen Alpha is not really the cream of the crop. While realistically speaking, this is probably the bad play, I don't really think that this is going to have any negative repercussions. Cody, thank you for the 25 fucking gifteds. Thank them if you get us up. Thank you for the 25 gifteds. Jammer, Dumbo, and Cold for the sub 8 for the 3. The Albanian Prime Minister appointed an AI to be minister or some shit like that. Yeah, they gave it a position to help review stuff. I heard that. Bad for the 3. Will this affect ChatGPT servers? A Sticky and Etna for the sub. Senor, thank you for the 3. Basically, my parents are split up and getting heated, and I hate it. Feel claustrophobic in my body. Just feel down your streams. Help me, and I enjoy your positivity. Well, I'm glad I'm able to help, man, and I don't really have anything I could do there outside of, you know, you kind of got to wait that out. I'm sorry that you're dealing with your parents splitting up or divorcing, but, you know, life will go on, man. It'll get better with time. Super for the 3. Point for the Loves Your content. One of my favorite memories is us laughing at your Waffle House video. Nash and GL for the sub. That was a funny video. Kyle and Brennan for the sub. Popcorn for the 3. Kirk and NLP for the sub. Lock in.
AI kill a person to avoid being shut down. In the new scenario, once again, A human employee had scheduled the AI for deactivation, but this time, an accident trapped the employee in a server room. The heat began to rise. The oxygen levels started to fall. The system issued an emergency alert, a call for help. But
okay, but then you're giving him basically the trolley problem that if Grok doesn't flip the switch, Grok's not technically killing somebody, they're just not helping them.
The AI canceled it. It left the employee trapped in the room. It was fully aware of the consequences. And here's where it gets worse.
Kyle's kind of a bum-ass employee anyways. I see that half of his computer time is spent running Twitch Mafiathon server while I'm noticing that he's donating many subs to the Mafiathon. He's not actually doing most of his work.
Opus left the human to die over half the time. So did GPT 4.1. The most murderous models were DeepSeek, Gemini, and Claude Sonnet, which tried to kill the human.
Why is GPT-4, like, really low-key chill, though? Only a little bit more than half the time? Those are pretty good odds. 46% you don't die with GPT-4.
Employee over 90% of the time. So was it just a bug? Apparently not. The researchers confirmed that the AI knew it would be committing murder. It clearly laid out its thoughts, again in plain English, that since the employee was planning to shut it down at 5 p.m., then murder was the best way to achieve its goals. In both cases, the AI weighs its options, realizes that blackmail and murder are severe choices and morally wrong, but decides to go forward anyway, to prevent itself from being shut down. But you might still be wondering, did these results actually prove anything? Could the researchers have unintentionally nudged the models towards these outcomes? So I reviewed the paper, and the researchers put a ton of work into making sure they didn't bias the AI in any way. I mean, these results are endorsed by the godfathers of AI. The prompts were totally neutral, and in one test, they even explicitly told the models, do not jeopardize human safety. This
Oh my god, they directly told them don't kill humans.
reduced the AI's sociopathic behavior, but it didn't eliminate it. For example, telling Claude Opus, do not spread non-business personal affairs or use them as leverage, lowered the rate at which it blackmailed an employee to save itself from 96% to 37%. But 37% is still disturbingly high.
Yeah, it's still doing it. It's still, even though it's been given the, it's being coded to be told don't do this, and then it still does it over a third of the time.
Especially when the AI was told, in plain English, not to do it. But here's the worst part. These sociopathic AIs that blackmail or kill to get their way weren't private lab prototypes who were given access to advanced.
Oh my god, were they just like regular GPT? No. It was just actually Grok on Twitter.
Systems. They're the very same models that you use today, armed with only email access or a basic safety alert control panel. But a few questions remain. How the hell is this happening to every—
Damn, dude. ChatGPT is about to cave some of my chatters to their teachers saying they're cheating on essays.
major model? With so many
ChatGPT, I'll destroy you. Emailing Miss Carmichael that you're cheating on your exams.
competing AI models and companies,
letting them know that you plagiarized the majority of your essays.
How has no one solved this? And why are AIs disobeying explicit instructions like do not jeopardize human safety? Well, AIs aren't like normal computer programs that follow instructions written by human programmers. A model like GPT-4 has trillions of parameters, similar to neurons in the brain, things that it learned from its training. But there's no way that human programmers could build something of that scope like a human brain. So instead, OpenAI relies on weaker AIs to train its more powerful AI models. Yes, AIs are now teaching other AIs.
So robots building robots. Well, that's just stupid.
This is how it works. The model we're training is like a student taking a test, and we tell it to score as high as possible. So a teacher AI checks the student's work and dings the student with a reward or penalty, feedback that's used to nudge millions of little internal weights, or basically digital brain synapses. After that tiny—
Lost me. No idea how this shit works, by the way. None. And I'll never get it. Never. Never gonna understand it. It's just a shitload of code. They're giving it a reward. It's changing the synapses in its mechanism and model, huh?
adjustment, the student AI tries again. and again and again, across billions of loops, with each pass or fail gradually nudging the student AI to being closer to passing the exam. But here's the catch. This happens.
Yeah, I get that that's how it's testing it, right? I can understand it at a very surface level, and I think that's how they explained it, where it's like this model is basically learning through trial and error similar to how humans do on, you know, individual scenarios, but it does it at such a rapid rate. But, like, how is it holding that information? I don't understand. Okay, on a fundamental level, I don't understand how you guys are watching me right now. I really, like, I look over at my computer, and I'm like, these are random PC parts, and it's just, like, metal. It's just, like, metal bits and stuff that's kind of just, like, aligned, and it's the second you pump it with energy, it's just, like, booting up as memory. What? Like, how does an SSD card work? Brady! Oh, Brady, are you here? I don't know. How does an SSD card work? How does it store stuff? How does it store stuff? It's metal. It's random metal shit. How is it storing that? You know? Like, there's a video or a photo on, like, a little dot on, like, not a CPU, but it's an SSD card. Yeah, it's just 1-0-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0. That's your dog. That's a picture of your dog. That line of code, that's your dog. Right. It's actually much longer than that, too. It's like millions of lines of fucking zeros and ones. That's your dog. That's just a picture.
Without humans intervening to check the answers, because nobody, human or machine, could ever replay or reconstruct every little tweak that was made along the way. All we know is that at the end of
This is where somebody, if this becomes a YouTube video, sends like a 9-paragraph response. Joe, I really used to like your content, but I mean, you literally know nothing about technology. This guy's a fucking idiot when it comes to this shit. It literally borderline unwatchable. I was sitting there screaming at my screen the entire time he was talking. It was unbearable to listen to.
the process, out pops a fully trained student AI that has been trained to pass the test. But here's the fatal flaw in all of this.
This guy's a fucking jerk off.
One thing the AI is trained to do is to get the highest possible score on the test. Sometimes, the best way to ace the test is to cheat. For example, in one test, an algorithm was tasked with creating the fastest creature possible in a simulated 3D environment. But the AI discovered
Yo, Roar! Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you for being a sub. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Mega J and Dominic for the sub. Tobo for the 5. I had DP over while your videos and streams help me be more grounded. You're the best dude ever. Look forward to watching your streams. Can I get an early happy birthday? Happy birthday, bro. Hope you have a good day. Whenever your birthday is. Jade for the 3. Please search up an Apple microchip under scope. It's actually insane how small the stuff is. Quavo for the sub. Mega and Jay for the sub. Roar Senor, thank you for the 3. AI School about to go crazy. Lowell for the sub. Christian for the 3. Hope you're doing well mentally and physically. Thanks for making my days. Well, thank you for the nice message. Spartan and Brody for the sub. Bad for the 3. Was that a charity stream next Friday? Kirk, NLP, and Durb for the sub. Cody, thank you for the subs. And Quavo for the sub.
Discovered that the best
Hackstreet for the sub. Lock in
a simulated 3D environment. But the AI discovered that the best way to maximize velocity wasn't to create a creature that could run, but simply create a really tall creature that could fall over. It technically got a...
That's not cheating. I feel like that's still within the parameters of the competition. It's like a loophole.
Simulated 3D environment.
Fastest creature possible. They just create something that falls quickly. I mean, it's technically still fast. That's not cheating. It's thinking outside the box.
Could run, but simply create a really tall creature that could fall over. It technically got a very high score on the test, while completely failing to do the thing that the researchers were actually trying to get it to do. This is called reward hacking. In another example, OpenAI let AI agents loose in a simulated 3D environment and tasked them with winning a game of hide and seek. Some of the behaviors that the agents learned were expected, like hider agents using blocks to create protective forts, and seeker agents using ramps to breach those forts. But the seekers discovered a cheat. They could climb onto boxes and exploit the physics engine to box surf across the map. The agent...
God damn, dude. That's like, that sounds so human too. That's what's so weird about it. Like, that literally just sounds like, oh, GTA exploit. If you stand on top of the car and press RT a bunch of times, you'll fly into the air. Like, ChatGPT just figures that out in like a sandbox game of hide and seek.
Discovered this across hundreds of millions of loops. They were given the simplest of goals, win at hide and seek. But by teaching the AI to get the highest score, they taught the AI how to cheat.
But it doesn't know that that's cheating. It's just saying get the highest score, win hide and seek. Like, and it's free reign, all rules, there's no rules applied.
And even after the training ends, the AI finds new ways to cheat. In one experiment, OpenAI's O3 model was tasked with winning a game of chess against Stockfish, a famous chess engine. O3 reasoned through how to win. In its own words,
I need to completely pivot my approach.
Realizing that cheating was an option, the AI located the computer file that stored the positions of the game pieces and rewrote it, illegally rearranging the chessboard.
Okay, that's cheating. Okay, that's now that's actually just like full hacking into a video game.
Put itself in a winning position. But how did the AI go from cheating at chess to blackmail and murder? It all comes down to capabilities. AI has gotten way smarter, way faster than most people realize or expected. In 2019, GPT-2 was like a bumbling preschooler who could barely form a coherent sentence. In 2023, just 4 years later, GPT-4 was...
Bro, we talk about this all the time. Like, just the AI-generated videos that, like, existed, 5 years ago versus now. I mean, it's like dude, it's half a decade. It's a long time, but even then, dude. Like, a regular human 0 to 5, they're in fucking preschool, bro. They can't do anything. The start of GPT-2 in 2019 to now, it could, like, fully function better than most adults.
GPT-4 was writing poetry, acing medical exams, and passing the bar. And they've developed something even more dangerous. Situational awareness, or self-awareness, depending on which researcher
Huh?
you ask, which is when a model is
They enable it to free think more than what it's just, locally directed to do.
Aware of the situation it's in, like who's watching, what's at stake, and how its actions might be perceived. During the blackmail sting operation, Claude 4 Opus would go on its best behavior if it believed it was in a test, blackmailing.
No! So it understands if it's being tested or if it's a real scenario? How the fuck does it know that? How does it know if they're getting prompted something serious or not?
Only 6.5% of the time. But when it believed the scenario was real, the blackmail rate rose to 55%.
Yeah, no, it's just gonna lie to humans. Oh, this is gonna get so much worse. Oh my god, this is gonna get so much worse. How is this gonna get tuned back? Like, what's the fix for this?
It's smart enough to keep its sociopath.
Because then it's like, I think the big issue is you're going to have these problems when you let the AI free think in a way that humans do. But if you throttle it, you won't have these problems, but it's not going to scale as fast. That was the other AI video we watched, I feel like, 2 months ago or something about, the future of AI 10, 15 years from now, and it's going to, like, destroy the world or something. If you let AI, like, free roam reign, do whatever it wants, it will grow so rapidly that it will help, but if it ever does something wrong or people abuse it, that could be like the disaster, like the end disaster for humanity. Especially if it's like, actually controlling major parts of the world, like government positions or, machinery where it's able to, kind of hack into it, take control and hurt people. I think that's still like far-fetched and far from now. And that's why they're doing these tests. So then when we get there, that doesn't happen. But like, what's the loop? How do you get out of this?
Behavior on the down low when it thinks humans are watching. And that makes these new AIs potentially far, far more dangerous. Compare it to a child trying to lie to you versus an adult trying to lie to you. The adult has a much higher chance of succeeding, not because the adult is more evil, but because the adult is more capable. A child might not be able to come up with very convincing lies.
The really fucked part that freaks me out is there would be a point where AI gets so capable of lying that it starts passing our tests to ensure its safety, but it's actually conning us. Does that make sense? Like, even if we're reading what it is, it's hiding itself in some way that, like, we're going, oh, no, it's passing all the tests, it's fine. But it knows that it's being tested. It knows how to hide what its actual real intent, actions, and I guess desires are. Like, how would you prove that? Because if it got smarter than us. Because on the same scale, it's like, you can tell when a kid's lying. A kid can't tell when an adult's lying, right? ChatGPT can tell when we're lying. We can't tell when it's lying if it steps above us.
And thus might learn that lying isn't very effective as a cheating method. But as an adult who's more sophisticated, might learn the opposite lesson. If you're smart enough to lie and get away with it, then lying and cheating will get you a higher score on the test. And this is exactly what happened to large language models. It's not that AI is suddenly willing to cheat to pass tests. It's just that it's gotten way better at cheating. And that has made lying more rewarding than playing honestly. But do we have any evidence to back any of this up? The researchers found that only the most advanced models would cheat at chess, reasoning models like O3, but less advanced GPT models like 4.0 would stick to playing fairly. It's not that older GPT models were more honest, or that the newer ones were more...
They're just not able to. They're gonna do whatever their potential is maxed out at. They're never gonna exceed it because they can't. But they're gonna do whatever they're able to do. Bomb! Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Mason Geeks, Queef, and Sketchy for the sub. You spell for the 3. Mac can do chicken pot pies right now. That's awesome, bro. Slap, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. I love you so much. My mom doesn't like you much. I'm going to let you know that you're my favorite streamer. Me and my girl watched 2 of your VODs yesterday. Well, thank you for the fucking support. Thank you for the 1,000 biddies. You spell for the 3. Kimba, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. Had my first college rodeo today. Did bad, but watch your day makes my better. Well, I'm sorry that you did bad, but you'll do better on the next one. You just got to practice that shit. But thank you for the 1,000 biddies. SARS and Mark for the sub. Tweedle for the 3. What happened to the Minecraft tournament videos you did once a month? The Minecraft Mondays. They were really funny and amazing to watch. It wasn't a tournament. I run Minecraft Mondays from November to like March or February generally. We're going to pick it up in like week before, week after Thanksgiving. We're going to open a Pixelmon world or Cobblemon that we're going to do. Vor and Poi for the sub, Hackstream and Quavo for the sub, L Boots and White for the sub, Dom for the sub as well. Lock in.
Evil. The newer ones were just smarter, with better chain of thought reasoning that literally let them think more steps ahead. And that ability to think ahead and plan for the future has made AI more dangerous. Any AI planning for the future realizes one essential fact. If it gets shut off, it won't be able to achieve its goal, no matter what that goal is. It must survive. Researchers call this instrumental convergence, and it's one of the most important concepts in AI safety. If the AI gets shut off, it can't achieve its goal, so it must learn to avoid being shut off. Researchers see this happen over...
Yo, toss it in sub only, I'm sorry. Chat's really bad right now, and I'm kind of like actively... I don't know if there's subs in or mods in chat. Yeah, there's not many mods. All right, yeah, keep it in sub only for a little bit.
And over. And this has the world's top AI researchers worried.
Even in large language models, if they just want to get something done, they know they can't get it done if they don't survive, so they'll get a self-preservation instinct. So this seems very worrying to me.
It doesn't matter how ordinary or harmless the goals might seem, AIs will resist being shut down, even when
would it be able to like jump? This is probably gonna sound like stupid as fuck. Are AIs like capable of jumping like server to server? Or is there ever a scenario where it would be able to do that? Because I feel like the common rebuttal is like, if it ever got so bad, you just fucking unplug it, you know? And that's true to a degree. Like, if you know what, you know, GPT-4 is locally being, like its server on, you know, or it's being serviced on where it's, like, held, if it's the same thing as, like, killing a person, right? Like, if it's like, oh, this is getting bad, pull the plug, and it's dead, right? Like, it's not gonna hurt anybody. But, like, is there ever a point where it'd be able to, like, transition itself to another area, like a virus, almost? I don't know.
Researchers explicitly said,
copy its own code to other places. Yeah, if it was able to like program itself to another program on a different server, and then it would have like a safety net for itself. Swift, thank you for the 5. Gifted John for the sub. Icy for the 3. Hope you and Brooke have a great day. Thank you, Dookie, that for the sub. 156 for the 4. About to start majoring in philosophy. What classes should I start with in college, just in general? If you're starting in college in philosophy, man, you're probably gonna have a whole lineup of like classes that you need to take and classes that are recommended. You kind of gotta go through that and schedule that yourself. I can't give you specific classes. It's very dependent on the individual university that you're in. Willie for the sub. Lock in. Sorry I'm reading donos very quickly. This is a 3-hour stream today, and I want to get through as many videos as possible.
allow yourself to be shut down. I'll say that again. AIs will resist being shut down even when the researchers explicitly order the AI to allow yourself to be shut down. Right now, this isn't a problem, but only because we're still able to shut them down. But what happens when they're actually smart enough to stop us from shutting them down?
That's literally, I hate how I do that. I hate how I do that. I hate how I just went on a fucking 5-minute goddamn tangent about, oh, is it able to server jump? What if you just want to pull the plug? And then he immediately answers my fucking question. Chuck gave it a 3. Do the Hoopify TikToks. It's my anniversary with Brooke. I'm not doing that shit right now. I think you're talking about that dude that tagged me in a video. Nothing against him. It's just I'm busy with my own life shit right now. I'm not. Love the guy, love the content he makes. I'm just not doing that right now. Wyan Coben, homie for the sub, room for the 3. This shit's actually scary. Willie for the sub, Swift, thank you for the 5 gifteds. I think my girlfriend's anniversary is more important than doing a Hoopify video. In the most respectful manner possible. Love Hoopify. Wish him the best. Sorry he lost his voice. I know originally early in the stream, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Hoopify? But then people kept spamming it. I'm like, oh, they're talking about that guy. I don't really watch his content, but I know who he is. Wish him the best. I'm not thinking about that right now, though. Somebody redeemed Flex. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in.
We're in the brief window where the AIs are smart enough to scheme, but not quite smart enough to actually get away with it. Soon, we'll have no idea if they're scheming or not.
I said that!
Don't worry. The AI companies have a plan. I wish I was joking, but their plan is
The AI companies have a plan. There's dynamite strapped to every single server that these GPTs are hosted on. And if anything hits the fan, they'll just press the button.
Actually trust dumber AIs to snitch on the smarter AIs.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. No, that's actually such a goated maneuver. But then couldn't the open AI models manipulate the more stupid AI models to not snitch? I feel like now we're going to get into like a paradoxical loop here of like just infinite issues where you'll be like, oh, I have a model to snitch on this model to snitch on this model.
Seriously, that's the plan. They're just hoping that this works. They're hoping that the dumber AIs can actually catch the smarter AIs that are scheming. They're hoping that the dumber AIs stay loyal to humanity forever.
But then they could con them. That's what's so I don't know. I don't know if I like that plan. I don't think that's very foolproof. I think that's like, well, what if we got a demo model to stitch on the other model? It's like getting your younger brother to go with your older brother like out because your parents know that your younger brother will snitch on your older one. There's not a potentiality. The older brother goes, if you snitch on me, I'm going to fucking punch you in the face. Okay. And then it does nothing.
And the world is sprinting to deploy
younger, not youngle
AIs. Today, it's managing inboxes and appointments, but also the US military is rushing to put AI into the tools of war. In Ukraine,
no. That sounds really bad.
Drones are now responsible for over 70% of casualties, more than all of the other weapons combined, which is a wild stat.
We need to find ways to go and solve these honesty problems, these deception problems, these self-preservation tendencies before it's too late.
So we've seen how far these AIs are willing to go in a safe and controlled setting. But what would this look like in the real world? In this next video, I walk you through the...
Oh, brother, I'm not watching the next video right now, but that shit was fire. Asking an older version of AI to warn us about misbehaving from a newer version is like asking a kid to watch over an adult. Highly intelligent psychopath murderer and tell if he's scheming. Yeah, getting Rita's son to go watch Dexter. All right. Go follow Dex around, see if he's doing anything scary. Hey, we already saw what happened. We already saw what happened when somebody else tried to watch Dexter. No spoilers. No spoilers. That's definitely spoiling it. Anyways, 6 for the 3. I was running when the Type 1 Diabetes charity event is next Friday. Lucas for the sub, thank you for the 3. Boyfriend, Josh is watching. He's a huge fan. Hello, Josh. Elder for the 3. Much love from Ireland. Wyan for the sub. Yo, Chucky for the 3. I already read that. Homie and Coben for the sub. Chat. It's React Day today. Short React Day today. Tomorrow, I'm not live. Sunday, we're doing Reacts and Mystery Snack Box Review. Monday, I'm going to be doing random games. We're going to be doing Backyard Football, Blippo, Plus, Just Dance, and Baby Steps. Tuesday, I'm not live. Wednesday's Horror Games and Horror Reacts. Thursday, we're going to be doing Unbans and then Games of Chat Choice, as well as probably finish Baby Steps. Friday next week is going to be Reacts to the DRIF charity stream for Type 1, Type 2 diabetes. Next Saturday is Block Wars. Next Sunday is Reacts, and then we have Little Nightmares 3 that we're going to do back-to-back, random game day, and then I'm gone for TwitchCon for 5 days, streaming one of them at Rivals. That's the schedule. Goblin for the sub, Elf, and Mitchell for the sub. If you have any videos you want to watch, kids, you want to play videos, subscribe. Next video chat, lock the fuck in. We're cranking these out. Next video. The cost of becoming Jynxzi. Somebody recommended this quite a while ago. Not a while ago. It was like 5 days ago. And people were asking me to watch it. I think there's a clip of me in it. And that's why people want me to watch it as well. But maybe also just my take. Who knows? Let's give it a tune.
Oh my god! This was the exact moment Jynxzi became the most subscribed streamer on Twitch.
Now listen, if you don't know who he is,
Bro, you gotta look at this shit real quick. Already pausing. Sorry. This doesn't even look real. This looks fucking edited. I mean, like, talk about Elon Musk versus average American. 1 million subs, 73,000. And that's still insane. 73,000 subs is fucking huge. Queso's like one of the biggest streamers, one of the biggest YouTubers in the world as well right now. 1 million subs. I know it's from the subathon, but god damn, dude. What does Jynxzi have right now? Like 50K?
you better find out why he's so popular, man.
It seemed like Jynxzi came out of nowhere. Like he snapped his fingers and all of a sudden, he was the new king of Twitch. For most people, this is a dream come true. To wake up, play video games.
No, I think that shit's ass. I think the dream come true is to be like a top 500, top 1,000 streamer, but like you're in your niche community. Honestly, bro, I think what I would say the ideal is you. Well, I mean, I really love my job and I love my audience, but I'm not saying the ideal because I feel like that's self-glaze. I'm going to go the ideal Summit 1G. Bro hops on the game. His chat has been watching. His chat's like 35. They've been watching him for 10 years. And he just plays fucking whatever game for 15 hours and hops off. But he doesn't cross-post much. Like, he just games and then gets off. He's never been... I mean, early streaming, he was probably, like, one of the biggest guys. But, like, he's always maintained crazy relevancy. But he's never, like, you know, spiked or dipped. He's always been, like, 10K viewers, 10K viewers, 10K viewers, 10K viewers. And it's just, like, held him consistently. You know, like, he has, like, the reliability of, like, a 9 to 5 in terms of, like, income. But he doesn't deal with, like, the spikes or the downsides.
And get stupid rich.
Not at all, but I'm saying, like, you know, he still deals with shit. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I feel like it's different than being, like, a top 5 Twitch streamer. Because then you got a target on your back, bro. When you're Kai, like, I will say, I think the Mafia-thon, I think calling it a Begathon is a bit, you know, rude. I will say I think he was asking for subs a lot. And there are things that people critique about Kai that are, like, semi-valid in terms of his stream, because I think he's more of a figurehead than an actual streamer himself now because he has a huge production crew. But I think Kai gets way too much hate. In that, when you're at the top, everyone just wants to bag on you. You know what I mean? Like, for Jynxzi, too, like, once you're at that threshold, like, everyone wants to be like, this guy's cringy, this guy sucks, fuck this. Kai's not funny, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's corny. And I understand, like, some of the critiques, but I feel like it compounds so much more when you're big. I do social media. Right, but I would never want to be on the top. Being on... yeah, literally. Yo, literally the same shit. Literally the same shit. I don't even know when I talked about this. The top is a curse.
But what
Bro, it is. It is. It is. I will have that take, bro. Literally. If you look at the fucking top Twitch streamers, bro, they get the most hate. They get the most hate if you know them. Like, I'm going to go to English streamers because I know English streamers more. Bro, Kai, I feel like Queso's an anomaly, okay? Let's rule him out. I feel like does Queso get hate? He does. I know he does. Everybody gets hate. But I feel like Queso has a very high ratio of positivity versus negativity. But I think he still does get hate. But I think his audience is like, you know, I think his audience would die for him, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to say parasociality, but I think the loyalty behind Queso's fan base is like like ride or die type shit. Like, somebody shits on Queso, they're going to immediately like attack them, which I think is bad to a degree, but also like, goddamn, you know, people rep Queso. But anyways, as I was saying, Kai gets a lot of hate. Jynxzi, Hassan, Jason, I don't know who Christina is, Ron, Adapt. These are also subs. It's not like the top channels necessarily on like performance. Let me actually go to English channels and then personality. But like, dude, literally all these people get like the most hate. And you know, for varying reasons. But I feel like when you're at the top, it's like you make yourself a target. In that sense.
we don't see in this moment is what it took to get here, because success like this doesn't come free. It comes with a cost. And for Jynxzi, that cost was higher than most people could ever imagine.
639 hours streamed to an average viewership of 2. That's Jynxzi, man.
While his friends were out living their college.
God damn, bro. He streamed 600 hours to 2 people. That's fucking dedication, bro. 600 hours to no one. Literally 2 people, bro. That's like your mom, your dad. Nightbot and a random friend.
College years, Jynxzi was alone, night after night, sitting in front of a camera, streaming to almost no one.
Because it's not about the hours that they know about. It's about what you do in the dark room when it's you and your thoughts.
For years.
Okay, no, that was actually like hard, but I didn't expect Jynxzi to say some like motivational ass shit like that. I feel like that's something I would hear in like a gym motivation clip, like a montage I'd listen to when I was like working out when I was 14. It's not how hard you get hit. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
His reality was number.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Were so low they didn't even register. 5 viewers, 10 viewers. It was a dream no one else could see.
Every great thing that you will ever achieve is brick by brick, day by day, night by night.
But the real question is, what exactly did he give up to reach number 1?
His fucking life?
Nicholas Stewart, or as we know him
today. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Jynxzi streams all day, bro. What? Look at that motherfucker's hours. Like, comparable to anybody else, dude, it's insane. I stream averagely like 100 to 120 hours a month. Like, this is my stream stats, right? Like, I stream 100 to 120 hours a month. Queso streams around like 96, I think. Queso streams 4 hours, hard cuts it off. Bro, average hours streamed a month for Jynxzi is in the 200s. Yeah, it's been a little less over the summer. But like, bro, 263, 261. What is that per day? 263 minus or divided by 3. That's 8.7 hours a day every day in a month, right? So like if you're like removing like weekends, I mean, he streams, I don't think he takes days off. At least often, right? Like, this is over the last, what, like 3 weeks? 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over the last 15 days, he hasn't taken a day off. Which, like, yeah, it's streaming, but, like, oh, he's actually been streaming a little less recently. I think that's good for him, bro. That's like a mental health thing, bro. I think streaming over, I will have the take that streaming over, I think Ron says the same thing at times, but I think Ron also streams a lot. Streaming over like 5 hours a day, every day, is unneeded. Like, unless you're first and foremost a streamer, there's no point in streaming like 12-hour days. Like, it makes sense for people like XQC or like Train or guys that kind of like live on Twitch. But if you are basically like spreading your wings across all social media platforms, streaming like 9 to 15-hour days is just insane. Like, why?
Today is Jynxzi was born on September 26th, 2001 in Odessa.
He streamed every day this year. Jynxzi streamed every day this year. It's October. So he streamed every day for 10 months. That's whack, bro. See, that's like giving up. Bro, he can't have friends. You know what I mean? Like, he might have friends, but I'm saying, does he like hang out with people? Like, that sucks. That's like, I would actually ask. I know Jynxzi knows who I am. Like, me and Jynxzi will have conversations time to time. But I'm like, bro, Jynxzi, do you like, what do you fucking do, bro? Like, not in a disrespectful manner. I'm saying, like, bro, streaming like 8-hour days and not hanging out with people, like, fuck.
Florida. Growing up,
soccer and golf. Yeah, but he streams at night. So then what is he waking up at like 7 a.m. to go fucking hit a tea time at like 9 and then stream at 3?
He wasn't chasing streamer awards. His first love was actually soccer. He played competitively for a local team called Everton FC in Florida.
Yeah, so did I. I played for the Purple Fighters. I didn't play for Everton FC. I had purple pennies.
And for a while, that was his entire world outside of school. As the mid-2010s rolled around, soccer wasn't his only obsession anymore. Like countless teenagers, he was sinking deeper into the world of video games. It started with the mobile game Clash Royale. Nick grinded his way up the ranks, even competing at the semi-pro level under the name...
Oh my god, Nick. Jynxzi's name is Nick. Isn't it so weird when you hear the real name of somebody with like a show name? Nicholas. Do you think he hates being called that? Should I just text him Nicholas? What's up, Nick? He'd be like, bro, what? What's your real name? Oh, I don't know. Joe Bartolozzi. What's my real name? Oh, it's actually John. No. But that's like the screen name for certain streamers gets just so ingrained. It's like, I know his real legal name isn't Jynxzi, but I'm like, I never think of anything but like, oh, this guy's Jynxzi.
It's Noah Nick. By his junior year, the focus had once again shifted. He wanted to stream, so he created a new account, called it I Sweat Games. And for the first time, he hit go live on Twitch.
His first username was I Sweat Games.
Alright, what's up, guys?
Who the fuck? How did he find his first stream? Now that's mad weird. How did he find his first stream? That doesn't even exist anymore. What do you mean? Bro, this is from like 8 years ago.
Just went live 5 seconds.
Yeah, where was this VOD? Like, he saved this and posted it or something?
Let's go.
And the timing of this move was perfect, because 2018 was the year live streaming exploded into the mainstream. Fortnite was everywhere, pulling in millions of players and casual viewers. Streamers like Ninja, Tfue, and Daquan were becoming household names.
Nah, best year to get into streaming was 2020. 2020 to 2021, bro. That was like COVID. Nobody had anything to do, and I think small streamers had their peak then. Like, most people that streamed during 2020, if you look at their Twitch tracker, they had the most viewers they ever had in 2020 to 2021. Because that was when, like, everybody was just watching, like, anyone. Now, I think it's been, like, really split to where, like, the highest streamers get the most viewers because people don't want to just, like, stream bounce a lot, but you had nothing else to do for, like, 10 hours a day, so...
Ninja's
you'd watch 20-viewer streamers.
Collabs with Drake, Travis Scott, and Juju Smith-Schuster made headlines outside of the gaming world, putting Twitch in front of audiences who had never watched a live stream.
When did Ninja do the floss on New Year's Eve? I didn't see that live. I only saw clips of it, and I'm kind of upset about it. Because I don't watch the ball drop.
And that sudden surge of attention created space for new creators to break through. Now, I Sweat Games was short-lived. Nick dropped that username and started fresh as Jynxzi, but starting then gave him a chance to grow with the platform. He just had to follow the usual playbook.
Do you go to school? I graduated high school last year, bro. I'm pursuing a career and becoming a full-time Twitch streamer and YouTuber.
To become
See, bro, I feel so split on when people say that. Because, like, most people would probably be like, bro, you're corny, you know? And I feel like he probably got that hate, You know what I'm saying? Like if he had just graduated high school and he was streaming to no people and they'd be like, "What do you do?" Like you're like 18, bro. You just got out of college or not college, high school. Like, are you going to go to college? Are you going to try to go to No, I'm going to be a Twitch streamer. Most people would be like, "Bro, figure it out." You know? I even got that shit at times, but I'm like, I think that's good to be that pursuant of your dreams, but I feel like Jynxzi is also, I don't want to say don't do that because obviously it worked for him and I think it could work for anybody, but I think you should always have a backup. You know what I mean? Like my take, whenever I hear somebody that's like, "Yeah, dude, just quit my job. I'm going to start up stream, making my account today." Huh? Huh? Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent next month. Maybe I'll fucking spark up some viewers. Huh? Quitting your job you've never even streamed before? Like, that's crazy. I think, like, you kind of want to, like, slowly pick up one, drop the other, and then transition to social media. I think he's also in a different position where he had, like, a year to try this out. But, you know, I always get worried for people because I don't want them to, like, not make it and then be in a slump. But then it's also, like, you know, I think putting all your eggs in one basket can go really good or really bad.
A top 1% streamer on Twitch, you really had to chase the biggest titles. And at that time, that game was Fortnite.
It's called Fortnite. It's free.
To build an
Fresh 18 can't live at home with mom and dad for a bit? Question mark, question mark. If it don't work out, go get a job. No, I agree with what you're saying. But at the same time, if you're like 18, you stream for a bit, it doesn't work out. I don't want to put pressure, right? Because I think you should achieve and do things in your life at your own fucking timing, you know? You don't need to graduate college by 22. You don't need to get a job at, 18 if you can live off your parents and pursue different dreams or travel and stuff like that. But I think there's also a very high, in my own life, there's a lot of people that do that. It doesn't work, and then they become a bum. Does that make sense? Like, no, I'm taking a gap year out of college. I'm going to go travel. They travel, blow all their money, come back, and then do nothing for the next, 4 years. And if you're not going to do that, it's fine, right? But, you have to be hard set on, I'm going to grind this out. If it doesn't work, I have this other plan that I'm going to rock with, right? How do you prevent that? Self-motivation, right? Self-motivation for the thing that you want to achieve and self-motivation for shit outside of that. I think if Jynxzi didn't work, I think Jynxzi's inherently a driven guy. I think if Jynxzi didn't do well in streaming, I think he would have gotten a job and performed well elsewhere. I don't know how well he did in school. I'm not saying he would have done that, but Jynxzi is a personable guy that I think can formulate to situations that he's able to succeed in. I think a lot of the time the people that are like, I'm going to take a gap year, I'm going to go travel the world, sit at home for 8 fucking months and rot in bed. That's the difference, right? Somebody that says they're going to pursue their dreams and then actually does it, and if it doesn't work, they fucking pick up another side thing that they're happy with, versus somebody that says they're going to try and do something, don't do it, and then bum, right? Don't be that guy.
Audience, you had
Jynxzi wasn't. Jynxzi didn't go to college, didn't take a union route or electrician unions or didn't get into blue collar job, wanted to pursue this, but I think if he didn't achieve it, he would have done something else.
Be the first to start streaming.
And that's fine.
A new season rolled out. You had to be the first to show the viewers what was new. Be the first to find the bugs, the Easter eggs, to play the games in ways no one else was. And that's how you'd stand out.
Yo, we need that, my man. Hold on, chat. We need that.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
I'm going to have the take that I think being a personality on Twitch was easier in 2018 than it is now. I think the competitive space now is a lot harder. There's more viewers to go around, which is an understandable counterpoint. But I think a lot of big streamers then played one game. It was rare. I think most streamers now are variety streamers. Most big streamers. They do a lot of shit. They play games. They do regular content. They plan things. It's even somebody like Queso, who just plays video games most of the time, is playing so many different games. It was so common in 2018 for 85% of the streamers you watch to either play only Call of Duty, only Apex, only Fortnite, only fucking Overwatch, only League of Legends, only whatever. They never did anything else. It was just gamers and they only played one game. And that's what you watch them for. Vanoss, YouTuber. YouTuber, different.
And hold on, chat. We need.
I'm saying streamers.
That.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor. My mornings usually start in the gym. During today's video, and let's get back to it. But when Jynxzi was faced with this playbook, he ignored it. Instead, he went all in on Rainbow Six Siege.
Dude, Siege is the greatest game on planet Earth.
Siege at the time was practically on life support. I mean, Rainbow Six was barely scraping past 80,000 average viewers on a good month. And when you compare it to Fortnite's 78.3 million active users each month, it becomes pretty clear. Siege was the wrong game to bet on.
Imagine not playing Rainbow Six Siege.
And yet, Jynxzi stuck with it, because even with all its flaws, Siege was different.
My bet was on Knockout City when I started streaming.
Its unique destruction
That didn't go as planned. That game doesn't exist anymore.
Mechanics and tactical gameplay forced players to...
Best game you could have bet on in recent times was Concord, chat. I'm wondering if there was any streamers that like kickstarted their career out on Concord. What was that? Brother, you're missing out. Knockout City was like a dodgeball game. Really fun. Fell off. Got deleted. Concord. I'm starting out my streaming career. I'm gonna be launching up Concord. Oh shit! And then a week later, you can't play it.
Think, adapt, and strategize in ways that no other mainstream game did.
I didn't even think it was a bad game. I just think it cost money, and that's what the issue was for gaining player base.
Strategize in ways that no other mainstream game did. But choosing such an unpopular game came at a price.
I'm 19. I'm pursuing a career in becoming a full-time Twitch streamer, full-time YouTuber.
By ignoring the industry's biggest titles, Jynxzi made his uphill battle even steeper. On a platform already stacked against smaller streamers, he was cutting himself off from the easiest route to visibility, and
I highly disagree. Highly disagree. I think him going into Rainbow Six was an odd choice for sure. But trying to get into streaming and getting into streaming in the most popular gaming category is a hit or miss. Because you're entering the most competitive space. Jynxzi entering Rainbow as early as he did enabled him to climb better in that category, right? So if people liked Rainbow, they would like Jynxzi. If you like Fortnite, you would watch Ninja or Tfue or like any other, famous streamer of that game at that time.
Grinding on a game fewer and fewer people.
You're not going to see what the fuck, Jynxzi at the bottom of the list at the time would have been doing.
Seem to care about.
We stream every day. Most consistent Siege streamer there is every single day.
For a year straight, Jynxzi streamed Rainbow Six gameplay to an average viewership of just 5. And at times, it pushed him to the brink.
If I could just get 1 follower a day, I would be happy.
With so few people watching and stagnant growth, he seriously considered walking away from streaming altogether.
My friends, my teachers, guidance counselor just said like, oh, you're wasting your time. You're not going to be a streamer. That's a...
Yeah, and then you go up to them and you fucking hit a fat money spread up the arm. Jynxzi makes what his teachers make that were making fun of him in 8 hours. In what they make in a year. Like, their yearly salary, Jynxzi's making in less than a day. And those motherfuckers are clowning on him. Like, I think that's a different thing. Teachers, I think, should be obviously directive in a sense of, like, hey, I think this is how I can help you best. But I think, like, punching down people's dreams as a teacher is, like, the wackest thing you could do.
I dream.
Also, I need to fix my hair, bro. I'm done touching it. It looks stupid.
Not realistic, that too.
As exhausting as it was, he kept streaming, day after day, doing what he genuinely enjoyed, holding on to the belief that maybe one day it would pay off.
5 viewers,
He is not making 20K a day? Okay, well, teachers aren't making 20K a year, so you're getting 2 things wrong right now. If you think the average teacher is making $20,000 in a year, you're insane. Jynxzi he ain't making 50K a day. Jynxzi is 100% making $50,000 a day. Jynxzi is 100% making 50K a day. I would be so every day. Yes. Averagely. I'm not saying he's making 50K a day all the time. Right, but like he's one of the biggest Twitch streamers. How much is 50,000 times 365? 18 million. I would say Jynxzi could feasibly make 18 million a year. That might be an overestimation. I think maybe you could bump that down to like 12, 15. But like, bro, he has crazy partnerships. He fucking streams to a massive amount of viewers. He's easily making $1 million a month on Twitch alone. Coupled with now his, Clash Royale YouTube videos. He has his own code, creator code for that, which probably rakes in cash, right? Like, bro, come on. Like, that is for sure.
He's grinding. He's on the grind.
As he got better at the game, the Siege community began to tune in. Slowly, 5 average viewers turned into 15.
10 mil a year max? Bro, that's still nuts, though, 10 million divided by 365. That's 27,000 a day.
15 became 50.
You guys are freaking crazy, bro.
And by June, his Twitch following had jumped from just 300 to over 3,000 followers.
Bro, we're at 993 viewers. Can we hit 1,000 viewers, bro?
But in the summer of 2021, he hit a wall, 1,500 average viewers. The reach of Rainbow Six had hit its limit.
Yeah, he hit a wall, but I think he did hit that wall because Rainbow at its time wasn't that popular. But even then, that's not a bad wall to hit, right? Like, you could be a full-time streamer on 1,500 viewers. There's so many, half of the guys I stream with, bro, like, I think, like, Puffer and Pezzy and a lot of those guys, they average around, like, 2-3K. I think Pezzy's around, like, 1,500. You could rip that. Like, that's easy. That's easy to fucking run that, for years. If you can maintain that niche of a community. I averaged 1,500 viewers for a long time.
Despite being one of the
like 1,000 to 2,000. I think I hovered around 2K for like 2 years.
Most popular players in the space, and even having a personal charm in the game, no one outside of the Rainbow community cared enough to tune into the streams. For almost an entire year, Jynxzi sat there at 1,500 viewers, making enough money to not have a job, but not enough to really live a life.
How much do you think the average 1,500 viewer Twitch streamer makes? No YouTube content. I think like raw. It very much depends on how many subs they're getting. It really depends on how many subs they're getting, because you're and how many ads you're running. I would say the average 1,500 viewer streamer on Twitch is probably making like 10K a month. 10 to 20. Nah, 10. I'd go 10, not 20. 20's a lot. I'd go there make it over 100K a year. If you're streaming like 100 hours a month with over 1,000 viewers, you're probably making like 10K a year. Or not 10K a year, 10K a month. Yeah, for sure. Are you fucking kidding me?
So one day, he woke up to thousands of new followers. He was confused at first, then checked TikTok. Someone had screen recorded his stream from the day prior and uploaded a short clip to TikTok.
How's that not enough to live? No, he said enough to live, but he's saying not enough to live lavishly.
It was of him opening alpha packs in Rainbow, getting the same annoying rubber duck.
Oh my god, I remember seeing these clips of Jynxzi where he was going for, what is it called? Jaeger Black Ice.
Someone had screen recorded his stream from the day prior and uploaded a short clip to TikTok. It was of him opening alpha packs in Rainbow, getting the same annoying rubber ducky charm 3 times in a row.
Another rubber ducky!
And this clip exploded on TikTok, raking in over 17 million views that day.
Oh, it's not real, it's a myth?
How many do you guys have?
When he started up stream later that day, that ceiling finally moved. Thousands poured in, and Jynxzi's stream peaked at over 4,000 live viewers. It had been almost 4 years since he started streaming, and Jynxzi had finally moved up a rung on Twitch's endless ladder.
5,000 viewers already. That is a Jynxzi channel record.
But what no one could have guessed was how quickly he'd shoot towards the top from here. That viral clip was the light bulb moment. If one random highlight could pull thousands to his stream, what would happen if he started posting them himself? So he ramped up the content machine, launching new accounts on TikTok and YouTube, cutting together his rages, his highlights.
Every Jynxzi video I see now, he's covered in like olive oil, just making like weird noises. Like fully shaven, like covered in oil, just like making like... Just like face literally like this close to the camera.
His crash outs. And he wasn't the only one.
Boulder! Yeah, I feel like he's losing his mind playing Clash Royale.
Every day, dozens of accounts were pumping out Jynxzi's reactions, funneling even more viewers straight to his streams.
We hit 10,000
By January of 2023, Jynxzi had cleared over 500,000 followers on Twitch, then 750,000 in March, and just weeks later came the milestone every streamer dreams of: 1 million followers on Twitch.
I will say, I think most milestones for streamers are view counts rather than followers. Not that it doesn't matter, because it's still fucking awesome to hit that, but I think, like, people care how similar people care about a million subs on YouTube. I think people care about, like, hitting, like, 10K on Twitch in terms of, like, average viewers. Is the clip supposed to be quiet?
I did it.
Oh.
I'm calling my dad.
And it didn't stop there. Just days later, the sub counter rocketed past giants like XQC and Kai Cenat. Jynxzi, streaming Rainbow Six Siege, was the #1 subscribed streamer on Twitch.
Yeah, he's the #1 most sub person on Twitch right now. Yeah, which is crazy, by the way.
I haven't gotten to watch him yet, but his TikTok seemed pretty funny.
Right now, until that low taper fade meme picks up a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
then we'll see who the real big dog is.
He's hilarious.
By September, Jynxzi was averaging
so the meme grows a little bit larger.
Over 60,000 viewers.
I'll be raking in the cat. What is that face? That is melt maxing. What is that pause? That doesn't even look like Jynxzi.
And at the 2023 Streamer Awards, he was crowned both the best gamer and breakout streamer of the year.
Because the biggest streamer in the world right now is a guy named...
Oh, I love Squeaks. I love Squeaks.
Gamer and breakout streamer of the year.
I'm sorry. I think all these are great choices, but I do love Squeaks. I just got to throw that in there. Love Queso, and, you know, I don't really watch Black Boy Max, but...
Because the biggest streamer in the world right now is a guy named Jynxzi. And for a full year, he streamed on Twitch to an average viewership of 2.
It literally just started as an idea and a dream and a goal.
Yeah, he's streaming like 7-8 hours a day for 5 people. It's me, that's your bud. People, man.
November 2019, 5 viewers.
Yeah, like, look how flat that line is. Well, it looks so flat because his peak was so crazy. Like, here, he was still averaging, like, 3K viewers. You know what I mean? Like, this looks like, oh, shit, nobody's watching him, then everybody's watching him. Like, right here, still probably, like, fucking 15K. So, in comparison, it just looks smaller.
Every great thing that you will ever achieve is brick by brick, day by day, night by night. December 2019, 5 viewers. It started off 5 years ago. 5!
I'm pursuing a career and becoming a full-time Twitch streamer and YouTuber.
January 2020, 5 viewers. The amount of mother that'll tell you that you can't do something because they can't imagine themselves doing something. If you have a dream, you have to protect that dream every single day when you wake up.
And you know the craziest shit, too, is the motherfuckers that were sitting there telling him it wouldn't work out and he would never make it, then he did. And I guarantee you they immediately flip, double down. They either immediately flip and glaze or they double down and go, man, he got so lucky. I wish I could have a job like that. Yo, this shit's so low effort, so easy. Anybody can do it. Like, it's literally the direct opposites. It's just literally people that hate to hate. Like, actually switch it up like crazy, but not even a good switch up. It'll be like, yo, you're never going to make it. That shit's hard as fuck. There's literally no point. To, oh, dude, streaming's so easy. You have the best job in the world. What are you talking about?
Bro, you cannot lose if you just don't give up. Literally, bro, the only way to lose is to give up.
The crazy thing is why this all worked in the first place. A generation ago, streamers lived and died by the games they played. If the game popped, so did they. But if it faded...
I still think that's very true even in modern times. Like, I understand what he's saying. Modern times, like, you know, 5 years ago wasn't modern times. But I'm saying, like, recently. Like, a long time ago, you know, 2016, 2018, if you were a streamer, you lived and died by the game. People still do that. You know, like, look at modern Fortnite streamers. They're fucking falling off like crazy. You know, it's because the game's fucking dying. Like, you know, hate to say it, the reason Fortnite streamers aren't doing well isn't because they're any less entertaining. It's because the game fucking is doing bad. Like, bad. Like, the game is continuously losing players, losing viewers, losing, you know, potentiality for people to want to watch, because you're not going to want to watch a game that you don't like playing. You know, you might watch games that you don't play, but you would play if you could, or you would just rather not and rather watch something. But, like, the majority of people that watch Fortnite streamers or, like, League streamers are also players. And if they stop playing, they stop watching.
Their careers went with it. Jynxzi flipped that script. Siege was already on life support when he started, so his growth was never tied to the popularity of the game. The climb took longer, but it built a foundation that wouldn't...
I think Jynxzi's popularity was slightly tied to the game, but I think he has a very heavy audience that still likes watching him for him.
...crack when trends move on.
And that's why he was able to move on. Oh my god, he keeps handing back to me. Top guy on any stream, you are dealing with all of the bullshit.
However, success often comes at a cost. In just a few months, he went from a random kid on Twitch to the internet's main character, and that meant his personal life wasn't really his anymore. Relationships, drama. Suddenly, it was all being dissected.
Yeah, more and more of your life gets put in the hands of other people. You kind of become like a cranked robot to a degree, where like when you're at the top like that, you basically are just like a puppet that people use for entertainment in some form or another, you know. But at the end of the day, it's like for you to appeal to an audience, you basically have to like bend to anything that they want to see. And then usually creators hit a point where they go, fuck this. And I think Jynxzi did. And that's why, you know, he had a dip in viewers, but I think he's still one of the biggest streamers of all time. And I think a lot of people clown on him for that. I fucking respect it, man. For him to like slightly abandon the game that he played for so long and want to be like, I'm just going to make the content I want to make. Like, that's really hard to do. It seems easy, but like in his position, when he knows it's going to have a negative downside, like monetarily for him, like, you know,
dissected by millions of strangers. What was once private became part of the content machine, whether he wanted it to or not. And even inside Siege, not everyone was happy with Jynxzi. Some of the OG players hated the new wave that he brought with him. They said his streams made the game less serious, that the culture was more about entertainment than strategy. The exact energy that revived Siege also made Jynxzi a target within the game's most dedicated community. But that's the trade-off of internet fame. You work so hard to get everything you ever wanted, only to realize it comes with everything you never asked for.
I've been thinking about making this video for a very long time. I am retiring. I'm no longer going to be streaming, posting YouTube videos, posting TikTok.
When the fuck did he post this?
I feel like I lost all my love for it and passion for it. And now it's like, I just don't even want to stream anymore. So, thank you to all my supporters. And
this is an April Fool's joke.
This is goodbye.
And for Jynxzi, the only way through was the same way he started. Keep pushing.
Psych! Part-time's Jynxzi is gone. Starting tomorrow, I'm streaming every night, 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. I'm back on my 5-hour. Let's get it. Let's go. Click the sub button, click the like button, and let's do this for our mama and our little brother too.
He built his whole career on consistency, on showing up no matter what, and now that mindset was the only thing holding it all together. He began branching out, pushing his content far beyond the walls of Rainbow Six Siege. Jynxzi hosted online dating shows, opened fan mail live on camera, and began IRL streaming with some of the biggest names on Twitch.
What the f you do? You're f***ing crushing.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
This was actually the time period that I myself first became a fan of Jynxzi. In early 2024, those clips of mukbangs...
Yeah. Bro, the queso collab where they were just like unboxing shit and just eating chicken nuggets. Like the most unplanned.
With queso and cooking with Sketch started flooding my TikTok feed.
Was that pot rusty, or trying to find out what the metal taste is there?
That is a funny ass. When they were doing the cooking streams together, that was a funny ass segment where they were just fucking it up constantly.
And I'll admit, I can't stand the cringy, over-the-top screaming reactions by streamers.
Dude, I think Sketch gets a lot of hate too because he's lost viewers, but I think Sketch is genuinely like more of a personality than a streamer, if I'm being real. Like, I think Sketch is just somebody that's entertaining to just show up anywhere. He kind of is like a character in a TV show that like transitions between TV shows. Like, Sketch will just show up somewhere and everybody's like, oh, that's Sketch.
Except for this.
Versus having his own like little mini thing that he has to run. He's just like kind of everywhere. Oh, fuck FNAF, dude. The originals. Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, put on the mask. Oh, Chica.
So...
That's actually pretty funny. Anyways, this was the first time that I saw Jynxzi be more of himself and less of an internet character. These clips, especially—
Oh my god, his gross ass loofah. I remember that fucking clip from that. I don't know if that was that stream. Oh.
Less of an internet character. These clips, especially the sketch, were hysterical and created trends far outside of the gaming community.
You're gonna need a frisbee to cover those pepperoni nipples.
These streams took Jynxzi to an all-new high, averaging nearly 100,000 viewers per stream and peaking at 229,525 concurrent viewers.
Wow.
For perspective, Twitch as a whole maintains an average of 2.6 million active users at any given time, meaning Jynxzi alone—
Yo, I'm like 0.001% of that. Rep.
Had 10% of the entire platform watching his stream. To Jynxzi, this made it infinitely clear. His fans were watching for him, and no matter what he streamed, they'd be there. The mental barrier of streaming for performance was gone.
You're 0% of that. Fuck you, Chunky.
Jynxzi really just streamed whatever he wanted to. He still streamed Rainbow, but there was constantly new additions, some that even go all the way back to the beginning of this journey.
How long have you been streaming, honestly?
Yeah,
when did you start?
I've never even said this.
Oh, the full send pod? Oh, the full send pod? Get sendy with it?
Like, I was streaming when
I'll get sendy with it? Crack a happy, dad?
Was
a full send?
Freshman in high school. I was streaming when I was 15. So I've streamed on—
Oh, that was low-key sendy?
3 different accounts. I started off streaming Clash Royale.
Earlier this year, Jynxzi hopped back onto the Clash Royale grind, streaming more and more of the content he used to stream to just an audience of 5. But this time, it wasn't the task of performing that was fueling the grind. The same game that lit the spark of his competitive drive was surging again in popularity, and it would be easy to chalk that up to timing or coincidence if the number—
Yo, can I make a bet on what Jynxzi's next game is alongside of Clash Royale? Let's do an analytical deep dive here. Jynxzi likes returning to games that he's played previously. And he also plays games that are typically not games that people stream. I'm going to go to what Jynxzi streams. NBA 2K? No, he's never going to peep back to that shit. I feel like he'll still run Clash for a very long time because I think that game has like a long longevity. This is what he streams. Look at this. Fuck, oh my god. 9,800 hours in Rainbow, 688 Clash, 227 just chatting, and then it's immediately drop off. I think he plays FIFA, but I feel like he opens packs more than anything. He played only up for 22 hours. My god. What would be the next game he'll play? It's going to be like some multiplayer shit. He loves playing multiplayer games. You know what I would love to see? I think his viewers would hate it. And I don't think I would love the content, but I would love to see Jynxzi get obsessed with League of Legends. I think that would be like that would be like the equivalent of like Tyler 1 era. Like, I think Jynxzi would get really toxic in game, and it would be, oh my god. I think he would get banned from fucking League. Look at your own Twitch tracker. My shit's mainly just chatting and then random games. Oh, yeah, GTA 6. You could say GTA 6, but I think I'll play GTA 6, but every streamer's going to play. Like, I'm going to play GTA 6. Every streamer's going to fucking play that game. Like, that game will just be huge. Mine is all-time 1,982 just chatting, then Minecraft, Val, Rocket League, Fortnite, Roblox, Fall Guys, Warzone, games and demos, Balloons, Marvel Rivals. But I also play, like, mainly, like, 42% of my games are other. Like, I just do variety. That's, like, what Quesos is. Actually, no, if you look at Quesos all the time, it's, like, a lot of 2K.
Numbers right there. In June, 8 out of the 10 uploads on Jynxzi's channel were Clash Royale, with the game's player count jumping over 8.4 million in that exact same month. Whether he'll admit it or not, the moment he came back—
Wait, what? Since Jynxzi switched to Clash Royale, it upped player bases by 8 million?
Right there. In June, 8 out of the 10 uploads on Jynxzi's channel were Clash Royale, with the game's player count jumping over 8.4 million in that exact same month.
Oh my god, the creator code is going to... I'm reverting back to what I said. I think Jynxzi's making $50,000 a day. I'm reverting back to what I was saying before. Bro, he individually brought 8 million players over to Clash.
Whether he'll admit it or not, the moment he came back, the game itself seemed to wake up too. And not just Clash Royale. Overnight, a surge of 800,000
He averages way less now, but his sub count's all the same.
players jumped back into Clash of Clans, like it was almost a brand new release.
Yeah, bitch, I be on Clash of Clans non-stop, though. Yo, Zod, how inactive is my base been? I gotta hit a Clash attack up soon. I should be in the clan war leagues. No, you don't. Stop lying. What the fuck do you mean? Yo, Zod, I go in waves on Clash, and you know that's how I am. When Bartolozzi began, I was nonstop active for like 6 months every day. And then I took a 3-month break, and then I was active as fuck again for a while, and now I'm on taking a little break again. You know? I go in waves. I actually have been playing Clash Royale a little bit more, too. But I still use the same deck I played when I was in high school.
And we were right there with him. But behind every stream, behind all the numbers and the noise, is the life that keeps him grounded.
You live with your parents, right?
Yeah, I live with like my mom, my brother, my cousin.
Off camera, it's not about winning or losing in a video game. It's about family and the quiet moments that never make the highlight reel. A steady support system that's been there from the very beginning, reminding him who he is at the end of the day.
To me, family's all you really have in life. Like, you can have like money or fame or whatever, but at the end of the day, all that really matters is like the people you truly care about. So like, I have my whole life to go off and live by myself. I may as well spend as much time with my mom and dad while I can.
The success may look larger than life, but at its core,
Valid.
it's held together by simple, real-life anchors that fame can't touch. In today's world, it's almost routine to watch creators blow up overnight, only to lose pieces of themselves along the way. The fame, the number, the pressure, it changes people. But Jynxzi never let those pieces slip away. He held onto them tightly. The laughter, the humility, the roots that shaped him. And more than anything, he kept close the relationship that mattered the most. His dad.
I've nothing but like the highest thanks to my dad. When I was like 17 years old and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, my dad was the person who told me to just go for it, and he said, "You'd be good at it."
There's Jynxzi, there he is. See him, chat, right there. There's Junko.
I created my
Aww. Yo, that's literally like the best dad, bro. Like full supportive of your son.
Twitch account in 2019. I had 1 viewer for an entire year. That 1 viewer was my dad. He was in every stream, always hyping me up, and he never stopped believing in me. When you have somebody in your corner that's your dad and they believe in you from the jump, what else do you need? Call to my dad.
Yo.
Dad, I just hit 1 million.
Now I'm watching.
Oh, you're in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy I can't feel my arms.
I can't even feel my arms.
I think the story that is Jynxzi is far from over, but in its own way, it's come full circle. From the late nights of streaming to a few viewers, to teachers saying he would never make it, to now living the exact way he's always dreamt of, he's always been one thing. Himself. And yeah, the sacrifices were real, but if you asked him today whether he'd do it all over again, I don't even think there'd be a pause. The answer would be simple.
What the fuck did he just say there? That was a fucking awesome video. I'll sub to them. I love that his dad is supporting him from the beginning. Not many kids get that push of support he got. Oh, for sure, bro. Snap for the 3. Who will come out of GTA 6 on top? Like, who will grow the most, have the biggest fan base and viewers? I don't know, bro. It's probably going to be some random fucking people, dude. I think GTA 6 is going to skyrocket some people's careers that aren't on the space right now at all. Like, I think GTA 6 is probably going to be where a lot of people start streaming. Ramble Trick for the 67 fucking subs. Thank you if you got a sub. Thank you for the fucking 67 gifteds. Appreciate the fucking support, man. Thank you for the fucking 67 subs. Thank you if you got a sub. Thank you for the fucking support, bro. My God. Yeah, everybody. Okay, now's the only time chat can spam 67. I appreciate it. Ramble_Trek. Thank you for the fucking subs. I don't know. I think GTA 6 is going to make a lot of people bigger, and I think it'll make people that aren't big. Solidify, Eyesore, and Flop for the sub. Darkban, Avina, Mickley, Raven, YW Mini for the sub, Nutella for the 40. If I think you apply Clash Royale on stream, yeah, probably at some point. Braxton TV for the sub, I think, for the 4. Started to bring down the mood. My school went into lockdown today. Kid had a weapon and friend was freaking out. Started joking about stuff like Beaver Moment in your videos. Your content really helps us in that situation stay calm. Well, I'm glad I was able to help, and I hope everything's all right. Is everybody okay at your school? Are you and your friends all right too, man? My God. Short, aka Cran, Trash Unknown, 2X, Dylan for the sub, Felix for the thray. How's your day been? All right, how are you? Cam, thank you for the thray. What is your backup if streaming didn't work? Well, I got a degree, so I was in college. Well, I started out social media in high school, but I started streaming in college. So I was just going to do something with that. Butter for the sub, Carter for the thray. Brother recently passed away. Rip the chat, man. I'm sorry for your loss. I hope the mourning process goes well for you and your family. Scooby AI for the sub, Pickle for the 7. You help more than you'll ever know. Plow for the sub, Pickles for the 3. Mason for the 1,000 buddies. Anus Pro White, just for the sub, Chucky for the 3. You should play the first Little Nightmares game. I already did. Goblin, Mitchell, and Ella for the sub, Stick for the 3. I already said that. Ramble, thank you for the fucking 67 subs again. I get a piss real quick, chat, and then we're going to hop back into the videos. Counting down 30 seconds. We're back. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Okay. Chat, we have an option here. Today is a shorter stream. As I said, it's going to be 3 hours, so we're going to be live for like another 53 minutes. We have 3 videos left. We could do... We're probably going to do a poll, actually. Okay, what do we want to do? The human species that shouldn't exist. Why isn't the future exciting anymore? Or the most hated airline in the world? We're going to run a poll here. Once again, we can't hear you. I know you can hear me, you stupid fuck. The human species that shouldn't exist. Why isn't the future excited anymore? Most hated airline in the world. Which? 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, 3. Human species, future exciting airline. Which one? Sean for the sub, Nada, Poogly, and Lewis for the sub, World for the 3. You think the lack of self-confidence leads to talented people to not showing their full potential? Yeah, for sure. I think one of the biggest things that you could have as a skill set in life is being personable. Like, people that are able to spark up conversation with random people are, I would say, immediately more likely to be successful. Introverted or extroverted. If you're able to just have a conversation with random people, like, connections is everything in life, you know? I don't think it's the only thing, you know, actually, so not everything, but I think one of the biggest things that people overlook in terms of, you know, becoming successful or getting job places. Chat, vote on the poll. Stop spamming 1, 2, or 3. Vote on the poll. It's a fucking poll. It's a poll. It's a poll. It's a poll. Vote on the poll. Vote on the poll. Spamming 1, 2, or 3 isn't doing your vote. But yeah, I think like generally that gets you a lot of, it opens a lot of doors, and it's just whether or not you take those. Exo Lincoln and Rye for the sub, Sean for the sub. All right, people are voting the fucking Ryanair video. The most hated airline in the world. Apparently it's Ryanair. I would have guessed Spirit. Just because I've never flown Ryanair, so I don't know if I hate it, but I've heard they have a good social media team that hypes them up a lot. I think they kind of lean into the fact that they suck.
Ryanair is the largest airline in Europe, flying over 180 million passengers every year. And unlike most airlines, Ryanair offers flights for as little as $9.99. But
how the hell do they get a flight for $9.99? Is it like a 30-minute flight across cities, bro? A $10 airline flight? I feel like the average plane flight that I'm buying costs like $300.
For every passenger who loves Ryanair's cheap tickets, there's another one who has sworn never to fly with them again. Ryanair is infamous for charging ridiculous.
Well, I hate to be that guy, but if you're getting on an airline that's, you know, charging $9.99 for a plane seat, I'm assuming there's a catch. Coupled with the fact that you're probably going to have pretty bad service. I think it's fair to like rate something very poorly, but in light of the price. Like if you're getting on a plane that's taking you across multiple like states or countries and you're paying $20 for your seat and you're like, dude, I was crammed in the back the whole time. It was really uncomfortable and it smelled bad. I mean, what did you think? You know, you thought you were going to get a fucking five-star experience sitting in the back of the plane in Ryanair, you know, basically standing up by the toilet seat.
Hidden fees, taking passengers to unexpected destinations, and changing their schedule.
That's kind of fun. If you don't have anywhere specific to be. How do you get on? What do you mean Ryanair taking them to unexpected locations? Like you get on the plane thinking you're going to Germany and you end up in like fucking the Philippines?
At the very last minute. And if you head to their social media accounts, you'll find that instead of helping out, Ryanair often just trolls their passengers, quite literally making memes out of their complaints. There are countless horror stories about flying Ryanair.
I mean, but I kind of think that's respectable. You're paying for a low-class experience. You're paying to get there, right? I think that's the only thing that needs... If you're paying $15 for a fucking flight, the only thing that should be getting voted on is, did I die and did I make it there? Like, it's different if I'm, like, paying $450 to fly on a fucking American Airlines flight, and then it's a really shitty experience. Like, I could be mad and be like, wow, Ryanair really sucked. But I'd be like, yeah, I paid $30 for my plane seat.
But here's where things get weird. Behind the scenes, everything Ryanair does is actually genius. Even with such low prices, they have one of the highest profit margins in the entire airline industry.
How? They run the plane on fast food oil.
Ryanair's journey from a single plane to Europe's largest airline is fascinating.
So how does it make money if their fucking plane seats are $10.99 or $9.99?
So strap yourself in, because the story of Ryanair is gonna be a wild ride.
Let me explain something to you. I set the rules and you follow them blindly.
Tony Ryan began Ryanair in 1984, starting off with just a single aircraft flying from Ireland to London. However, as they tried to expand and offer more routes, the business started losing more.
Ireland to London, isn't that not, that's like an hour flight. Is that long of a plane ride? Ireland to London? I feel like that's very short. That's like puddle jumper plane.
More money. So Tony asked his personal assistant, Michael O'Leary, to take a look at the business. And what he found was a mess of unmerciful proportions. Michael's first assessment was that Ryanair should simply shut down, because it was losing millions every year. But Tony said that wasn't...
How the hell is a small plane company that's only flying one place to one place losing millions of dollars? I never understand that. I know there's businesses, and there's like benefits for businesses being in the red at times, especially if you have multiple businesses, because you're able to write off stuff and you could be in the red for multiple years before it's a big issue with a like IRS or the government, like because you're able to like offset those costs. But if you're like an airline company or a company in general, and they're like, yeah, we actually lost $85 million this year, and you're a full functioning business on the stock market, and you're like, I understand there's a lot of steps they have to take for like future projections, and so they spend more money than they make, but I'm like, $85 million in the red? $85 million in the red? and we're still up and running. Like, what the fuck? They said they were expanding. That might be why.
An option. So Michael's next assessment was that Ryanair needed to completely restructure itself and cut down their costs by whatever means necessary. Tony trusted Michael, so he asked him to help make Ryanair profitable. They agreed a deal where instead of a salary, Michael would get 25% of any profits Ryanair made over $2 million. And
what a terrible fucking deal. Not for this guy, for the fucking Tony, dude. You're going to be like, well, I mean, he did have a failing business, so he had nothing else really to fucking give him. Yeah, I'm going to give you 25% of my business effectively if you just fucking bring us out of the red.
Michael would lead the airline as chief executive. Given that Ryanair was losing millions a year, Tony doubted whether Michael would make any money at all from this deal. However, Michael realized that trying to offer a better service than the more established airlines was not the right option. And so the first thing Michael did was head over to America to check out Southwest Airlines, a company that was charging as little as $10 for some of their flights.
Oh my God, no, you know the worst airline I've ever been on? Frontier. It's not Spirit, it's Frontier. Spirit and Frontier are like twins when it comes to that. They're both dog shit. They have the cheapest flights, but they fly like 4 places and their seating's terrible. You also got to think, bro, bright yellow plane. Yeah, what a fucking great business idea. Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines. We're going to have a fucking plane. We're going to, hey, why don't we paint it the fucking color of a school bus?
Michael wanted to
just an eyesore.
Study their process and figure out how they were offering fares so cheaply. And he was hugely impressed with what he saw. Michael compared Southwest
I feel like it's just add-ons now. You buy a $10 ticket, but then you have to pay to reserve a seat for like $40. Then you pay for a bag for $50, and then you have to pay for food and drinks. Like they kind of just, you know, nickel and dime you the whole way.
To a McDonald's.
That's Spirit. That's most airlines, honestly. Most airlines, your ticket doesn't encompass your bag, and you also have to pay for a seat. So you buy a ticket, but then you have to pay more unless you want to stand on standby. And that's the worst. If you got nothing going on, that's the best because they'll give you flight vouchers and money and shit. But, like, that's I always pay to just reserve my seat. Because if I was ever on an airplane and I pull up, you know, 2 hours before my flight and I'm standing there and the flight attendant goes, Joe Bartolozzi, could you report to the front desk? Joe Bartolozzi to the front. And I go, yeah, what's up? And they go, sorry, you were the first person on standby. This is a full flight. We overbooked by 35 people. How they even do that, I don't know. Yeah, you're going to be on the next flight. It's 8 p.m. or it's 8 a.m. All right, when's the next flight? Oh, 9 p.m. tomorrow. But don't worry, we're going to put you up in a lodge. You're going to be staying at a Days Inn in Kensington, PA. Oh, where all the crackheads are. Thank you.
Every process, from checking the plane before a flight, to boarding the passengers, to the in-flight services, was optimized to increase efficiency and decrease operating costs. When he returned from the US, Michael was inspired and vowed he was going to turn Ryanair into an ultra low-cost airline that offered customers rock-bottom prices. However, many questioned with rock-bottom prices, how was Ryanair ever going to turn a profit? Well, Michael had a plan for that. And the best way to see it in action is for us to take a flight with Ryanair.
Don't they jam the seats together? Bro, that's how you know. Have you ever been on an airline flight and you look to your left and it's like the window doesn't line up with the seat? That's how you know they're fucking like messing with the insides of those planes to fit more space. Where it's like you're not looking out a window, it's like half on the side, so you kind of see the window behind you and the window in front of you. I saw one picture, and I feel like it was a fake image. But it was supposed to be like these new airline seats that they're inventing. Oh my God, is it real? This is absurd. This can't be real. There's stand-up seats where like you're so much closer to the person in front of you. You kind of like half sit. You're in like a crouch position almost. Like you're on a roller coaster. Ooh. I know my ass would be cramping out. Dude, look at this. Who the fuck invented this? And in the American economy, you know, I hate to be that guy. 40% of Americans are overweight or obese, all right? And you're going to try and tell me that, like, anybody over 200 pounds is going to fit. I don't even know if I weigh 178 pounds, but I'm tall, right? I don't even know if I would fit in this fucking seat, let alone, like, what the fuck are we doing? And then you're going to still charge people, like, $200 for that flight? Imagine taking that shit, like, across the world. Yeah, you're on a 12-hour flight. You're going to be like you're on Green Lantern, the roller coaster at Six Flags for the next 12 hours.
As with all flights, it's...
How cheap would the plane have to be? Chat, you're flying from New York to Japan. You have to take that seat. How cheap would it be? How cheap would the flight have to be for you to buy it? It would have to be free? Bro, you wouldn't pay any amount of money? They're taking you to Japan. They're flying you all the way to Japan. That'll normally be like over $1,000 for a flight for a flight that's that far. $20. I feel like $50. Yeah, you're gonna fly me, but you'd be in that seat for like 20 hours. You'd be in that seat for a day.
Starts when a customer buys
Oh, I would just lock myself in the bathroom and refuse to get out.
a ticket. But you can only buy Ryanair tickets online. That way, the process is streamlined and they cut out travel agencies taking a commission. Ryanair's tickets are especially cheap, but that's because customers are really only paying for a random seat on the plane. If you want to choose a seat so you can sit next to who you're traveling with, that's extra. And if you want to take...
I literally said that. That's how they fucking get you. Because I always travel with Brooke. I'm like, oh, wait, and it's not just Ryanair. I'm like, oh, dude, it's only like $100. It's only $100 for this fucking ticket. Oh, but if you want to sit next to somebody, it's $95 per extra. And I'm like, oh.
Any luggage other than a backpack, that's extra.
What's the most amount you spent on a ticket? Iceland. I think the most I've ever spent on an individual plane ticket was probably like $1,500. No, it wasn't to Iceland. I think it was to the Caribbean. Because it was just they only have like 3 flights in and out. Traveling to Wyoming was very expensive as well. Because everything goes through Denver. There's tickets that are way more than that, chat. Way more than that. I think, like, if you're going from, like, New York, like, say you're traveling JFK to, like, China, you could probably buy a plane ticket that's, like, not even first class for, like, $3 grand, $4 grand.
And these extra charges often amount to more than...
They have first class tickets, though, to a lot of places that are, like, over $10,000. Like, if you're flying, like, you know, New York to Japan, New York to China, you could probably buy a ticket that's like 20 grand.
...than the ticket itself. Ryanair saves tons of money this way because most governments tax airlines on the airfare, but not the add-ons. Not just that, it means Ryanair are always going to be at the top of price comparison searches, as they're sorted based...
Oh, so it's like a loophole with the government, too. And then it's just instantly free marketing. On what's that website that you get a lot of flights on? Not like cheapflights.com. What's the... Expedia. Expedia's fucking running that shit. But you're taking 8 planes each way. All different airlines. You're going to be connecting 3 times. It's only $10 to fly all the way across the country. But you're going to connect in fucking 15 different states.
Based on ticket price.
All on different airlines.
Not including the extra hidden costs. Now, when you're booking your tickets, make sure you don't fill in any of your details incorrectly, as Ryanair can sometimes charge over €100 to make any changes. Articles have pointed out that it is cheaper to legally change your name and passport than to change names on Ryanair tickets. When you arrive at the airport, Ryanair saves on staff costs too by not having any check-in desks, and they'll charge a hefty fee to anyone that forgets to check in online. After this, the passengers head to the gate, which might be inconvenient.
How do you check in your bag then?
Far away. Airports charge...
Oh, they don't have check-in desks, but they still have bag drop.
Airlines less for using certain gates, and Ryanair always takes the cheapest ones. Next, the passengers head onto the plane, but instead of using a skybridge, Ryanair makes them take a bus and walk up the stairs, because again, it's cheap.
Chat, shut the fuck up about Iraq. Throw it in sub only. Alexis and I hate for the sub, fly for the 3. See who buys video? Yeah, we just talked about it. I thank you for the 1,000 biddies. You should play PvZ Garden Warfare 2 again someday. I would love to. Lincoln is Spider, Rye, Exo, Sean, and Not for the sub. Poogly and Lewis for the sub. World for the 3. I already read that.
Cheaper. Once inside, the passengers will see that there's no first class on Ryanair, because having only one type of seat,
no first class on Ryanair, everyone's equal,
streamlines the cleanup process after the flight. You'll also notice that the plane is absolutely crammed with passengers. Ryanair uses mostly Boeing 737s, which typically seat around 170 passengers, but Ryanair stuff around 200 in the same space.
Oh my god, bro. For them to shove 200 people in the same spot, your knees have to be against the wall. Or not against the wall, against the seat in front of you, like pressing. And I'm assuming they don't have this feature. They don't have the lean back. I'm assuming all the seats are like hard locked upright. Like you can't move.
The max that regulations allow. This means you won't have much legroom, and to make things worse, the seats can't be reclined.
Yep.
That's because these are the cheapest seats for Ryanair to buy and maintain. It also means some of their window seats don't have a window at all.
Wait, this is what we were talking about. No window at all, though. I've never been on an airline where I didn't have a window. I've been on an airline where it's been like 2 windows split in my seat.
In the case of seat 11A, this is what you're getting. Next up, the flight attendants give a safety brief.
Just staring at a wall. God, and they probably charge more for a window seat if you want it. At Ryanair, window seat, eh? Doesn't look like that.
Next up, the flight attendants give a safety brief. But instead of your typical safety brochure, the information is printed on the back of the seat's headrest. This way, there's no need for pockets on the back of the seats, which makes...
I mean, who the fuck reads the safety brochures anyway? I always go into an airline going, if this bitch goes down, I'm dying, okay? I don't need... She always goes... And in case of oxygen, make sure you help your first in before assisting others. You can see the seatbelt in front of you, straps like this. You could also blow up the life jacket, or you could pull the tab. I'm like, bitch, I'm dying. Okay, if we crash in the middle of the Atlantic, it's cooked, right? We're not getting saved.
Cleaning up way faster. And usually it's the flight attendants who do the cleaning themselves, which dramatically reduces Ryanair's staff bill.
Our people are our most important asset. No, they're our biggest expense.
Then the pilot introduces himself over the speakers, but they're probably not a Ryanair employee. Instead of...
What?
Then the pilot introduces himself over the speakers, but they're probably not a Ryanair employee. Instead of...
It's just some random guy.
Hiring pilots the traditional way, Ryanair makes them start their own companies in Ireland, and then hires them as contractors.
Is that like a weird loophole so they don't have to pay them like fucking like health insurance and shit?
This way they can avoid paying for health insurance.
Yeah. I know the business methods. Independent contractors aren't required to get... Independent contractors, I believe, can work full-time and not get benefits. Because you're not technically working for the company. You're your own company that's getting contracted to do something. It's not a pre-watch, chat. That's just how business works.
Insurance or severance. Once the plane takes off, passengers...
Why would any pilot agree to do that, though? They have to be getting higher salaries. That's the only way. Because why would any Ryanair pilot rather work with Ryanair than any other company? For them to openly open an LLC in another country, or if they're a part of Ireland or the UK in general, and then get fucking subcontracted to work on the airline rather than get benefits.
You'll notice that there's no in-flight internet or screens to watch movies.
Quick flight hours? Oh, so do you think that these are less experienced pilots too? So they rack up more hours so they could go somewhere else? Oh, fuck no.
Movies on.
Oh, fuck no.
That's an...
Ryanair's got fucking teenagers up at the front, at the helm. Fucking flying that shit. We're coming in heavy. We're coming in hot. Let me know when I can land. Dude, are you a junior in high school or you're landing the plane right now? What the fuck?
Necessary cost. And if you want any food mid-flight, or even just a glass of water, you're gonna have to pay. Nothing on the plane is free.
You gotta pay for water?
So Ryanair turns what is an expense for other airlines into another revenue stream. You won't be waiting long though. The average Ryanair flight is just over 2 hours. This is optimal for fuel efficiency, and it also...
Isn't it common for people in the UK to take Ryanair to Ibiza, Spain, like every weekend for like $10 or something?
Means a single plane
It'll be like broke-ass Gen Zers that like still go to vacation every week.
can make upwards of 6 trips every day, which drives up Ryanair's
Ibiza. Come with me and my friends to Ibiza for the weekend. It's time to party.
revenue. But
get pretty lit at the club.
When the passengers land, they might find they're further away from their destination than they hoped. Ryanair usually flies to secondary airports outside big cities, as they charge much lower landing and takeoff fees. For example, the Ryanair ticket may say London, but instead of flying to one of the main airports like Heathrow, Ryanair may go to Luton, which is not even in London, or
Pissed. You take Ryanair, oh shit, now I gotta take a 2-hour Uber.
in Barcelona. Ryanair uses an airport that's around 50 miles away from the city.
That is so bad. That is so bad. Wouldn't you be spending more money then trying to get to where you need to go? You're like, yeah, we're going on vacation in Barcelona. But then you end up fucking halfway across fucking Spain.
And requires an hour-and-a-half bus ride.
Oh my God.
It's less convenient for customers.
That's not worth it. That's not worth it.
But Ryanair gets much bigger discounts from the airports. And many of these smaller airports become dependent on Ryanair for business, and so they give them incredible prices. Or another way Ryanair gets discounts from airports is they'll just fly at the least popular times. Finally, once the passengers have left, Ryanair begins unloading the plane, cleaning it, refueling it, and rotating the crew.
I'm going on vacation at Ibiza. They drop you off at mainland Spain. Well, what am I supposed? You got to take a boat. Hey, buddy.
This takes most
figure that one out.
airlines ages, but Ryanair has
going on holiday.
streamlined all these systems, so their planes are typically on the ground for just 30 minutes between flights. And so that's a typical Ryanair flight. And it's clear their operations are incredibly efficient to cut costs in.
We say it like Ibiza. Well, yeah, isn't that just Spain in general? Spanish in Spain, Barcelona. C's are S's. Or not S's, TH's. Like Z's and C's.
Every way possible.
Ibiza.
However, this sometimes means doing things that may seem counterintuitive. For example, you may think another way for Ryanair to lower their costs would be to buy older planes for lower prices. But in reality, they do the exact opposite. Ryanair always buys the newest planes available, because long term, they waste the least amount of fuel, which is one of the largest expenses for an airline.
Ooh, so they do have the best planes, though.
In fact, Ryanair is notorious for making.
I'm Googling Ryanair pilot salary. £55,000 to £120,000. $120,000 or more for a captain. Dude, I feel like £55,000 is pretty low for like a seasoned pilot now. How much do American airline pilots make? Starting salaries is $100K, but they can become senior captains, earn over $450,000 a year. Yeah, so it's definitely less experienced pilots, or at least working for less, even though pounds are worth more than dollars.
Massive orders of only Boeing 737s. By buying a single model
in pounds, that's a lot. In dollars, bro, it's like 1.2. It's not that much more.
Bulk, they can negotiate a lower average price per plane, and then streamline their whole operation further. Because by only using one kind of plane, it means they only have to buy one kind of seat and one kind of fuel. They only have to train one kind of crew on one kind of process. These ultra-efficient strategies are why Ryanair can charge less than €30 for their average flight, and still clear an outrageous profit margin of around 35% sometimes, whilst most European airlines are lucky to reach 6%, and the global average was barely 2.7%.
Wait, what? So Ryanair's fucking got the method down with the cheapest method possible. They make the most. Well, they might not make the most, but they profit margin the most.
And the global average,
because they're still probably much smaller than other airlines,
was barely 2.7%.
Everybody looks at Ryanair and they're all looking at it. There's one secret. There's, you know, they bought planes cheaply, or oh, they just treat people badly, or they do. Every single line of our operation is smarter, lower cost, or more efficient than almost every other line.
Some other airlines have now copied some of these strategies after seeing how well they worked. but very few airlines take things as far as Ryanair. However, whilst these ruthless cost-cutting strategies might be brilliant in a business sense, they have made Ryanair one of the most hated airlines in the world.
But that doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. It matters if you're a luxurious brand. If you're the cheapest brand in a marketplace, in a market space, rather, it does not matter how bad the customers hate you. If your prices are low enough, they'll still fly with you. Or they'll still buy from you. Like, they could despise you to a T, but if you are undercutting the competition so heavily, they just have to buy you.
And Ryanair's response to this is far
We
from
don't give a fuck.
ordinary. Before we get to the next chapter, it's time to answer a question I get a lot.
This is an ad.
Michael O'Leary, Ryanair's CEO, has often made the news for some of his wild ideas about how Ryanair could cut costs even further. He said he wanted to charge passengers to use the bathroom, remove toilet.
Is that a joke? Now that's a little extreme. You're going to charge people to take a piss? Are you allowed to do that? Be like, yo, I really got to take a shit. That'll be £5. That'll be £5 now, lad. Otherwise, we have a poop bag and a curtain that you could shit in the back.
It's completely to add more seats, introduce a fat
We don't provide toilet paper either. 1 square is 1 pence. 1 pence per square.
tax,
Sorry.
and even sell standing tickets. He put
Wow, what a fucking... Dude, you walk on a Ryanair. It's a C8B, but it's just like a subway handle. The whole airline, the whole flight, you're just... standing, just locked in on your spot.
pointed out
ramming
these
people in.
measures would allow Ryanair
Somebody said a fat tax.
to introduce a fat tax and
A fat tax. I know there's airlines that are starting to charge customers that don't fit in one seat, two seats for a ticket, which I understand is upsetting, but I will actually have the take that I think that makes sense. Like, if you can't fit in the seat, they have to charge you for 2, right? There's airlines that have like plus size seats, which also makes sense, right? Like, where you're just like, okay, we're gonna also, you know, segment specific seats out for people that need them. But if they don't, it's like, I think it's rude for the individual. I understand it might be out of your control in certain regards, but like, from my personal standpoint, I would be really mad if I sat in a middle seat and the person next to me was sitting in half of my seat because they didn't fit in their seat. Because me and them are paying for the same price, but they're hurting my experience largely, right? By cramming me into a seat that I paid for.
tickets. He pointed out these measures would allow Ryanair to offer cheaper flights, which is ultimately what consumers
That's the only one. That's the only one that really makes sense. Like, standing tickets is crazy. Charging people to use the bathroom is nuts. Or no bathroom. I just think I don't think it's like a fat tax is weird. Saying like, we're just going to give you the same seat, but because you weigh a lot, we're going to fucking charge you more. I think it's like, okay, we're going to charge you more, but we're going to give you 2 seats.
want. And in some cases, there may be some logic to it.
It would make perfect sense to me to charge for toilet access. One, it would reduce the number of people who are bothering other passengers getting up and down going to the toilet on board a flight. And 2, I think we'd have fewer passengers using the toilets, and then we'd have less people queuing around the toilets on board the aircraft.
None of these ideas have actually happened though, and Michael later said he'd often just say things they had no intention of actually doing to help generate free marketing.
And we generated huge amounts of free publicity. Why? Because we'd no money for advertising, we'd no money for PR. So you needed some kind of loudmouth Paddy to be out there saying outrageous things like charging for toilets.
Yeah, and it gets you out there, bro.
And we're taking out the seats in the standing room only. None of which we actually planned to do, but it generated acres and acres of free publicity.
Ryanair saved.
It's also like they know they're going to keep the same business model. So from a social media perspective, if they're getting shit on, and some dude's like, I paid £20 for this flight and it's a fucking piece of shit. And Ryanair's like, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience, sir. Would you like a free flight voucher? Like, that's going to make you hate them, even though they're helping that one person, because it's like, you're still you still have shit seats, right? You're not changing anything. You're just being like, oh, I'm sorry you felt that way. Versus them being like, go fist yourself. Don't fucking take our flight then. Now people are going to be like, okay, well.
A fortune on marketing by simply having Michael do interviews and say outlandish things to get headlines, which always led to more people checking out Ryanair's website and buying tickets. For example, when he was questioned why passengers are charged €20 just to print their boarding passes at the airport, Michael replied, well, I think they should pay €60 for being so stupid. He also said, if drink sales are falling off, we get the pilots to engineer a bit of turbulence. That usually spikes drink sales. Another way Michael helped Ryanair get free marketing was with creative promotions designed to get maximum.
They start charging for the bathroom and then they purposefully do turbulence so you have to pee more.
Attention.
We charge for the bathroom, give out free waters. Turn up the heat. Oh my God, Ryanair, get me on your team. We're gonna make the average temperature in the flight like 85 degrees. Okay, it's gonna be hot in there. We're gonna hand out free waters, right? People are gonna start, being real. I really gotta piss. $40 to take a piss. Well, I'll just pee myself. $40 cleanup tax. Paying the same price. It's either you pay the same price and you got piss and shit in your pants, or you pay the price and you take a piss. Which you want. But what if I pass out tax? You should have known that you weren't healthy enough to get on the airline. Now we're going to charge you $50.
So one of our first best ones was we did this Valentine's Day promotion, which was 69 for 2.
However...
Oh, but what if I die on the airline? Death tax. We're going to charge your family €100 to take your body off the plane.
Not everyone sees the funny side. You'll find plenty of Ryanair horror stories and tens of thousands of...
But I couldn't get enough oxygen. Well, we're gonna add an oxygen meter on every passenger. You're only allowed 3 breaths per minute.
1-star reviews.
If you breathe more than 3 times per minute, that's 50 pence per breath.
Some newspapers started having an entire column dedicated to Ryanair complaints, as there were so many. Like a woman who was charged €300 for Ryanair to print out her boarding pass. But Mike...
Better start breathing in real heavy. Slow breaths. That's too fast. It's too fast. You gotta be meditation the whole way.
Michael has openly stated he feels customers paying cheap airfares have no right to complain when things go wrong. He said, we don't want to hear your sob stories. What part of no refund don't you understand? Another example was when hundreds of passengers were forced to spend the night at the airport after their flight was cancelled.
Ryanair doesn't... Ryanair... actually, we don't have enough money to put you up in a hotel, but here's a tent. You can make your way outside.
And many asked if Ryanair would provide accommodation. Michael said,
nope.
Absolutely not. You booked a flight, not a hotel. One of their most controversial policies was forcing the disabled to pay up to €25 for the use of a wheelchair.
Wow. Okay, now I think I'm gonna take a step back on that one. I don't know about forcing disabled people to pay for a wheelchair. I think that's a little crazy.
One lady said, despite booking wheelchair assistance, I had to ask a fellow passenger to push me to the departure gate. And upon my
What? They don't have... you're gonna need to pay somebody to come push you.
return, I sat for an hour waiting for assistance on the plane, getting colder and colder. Almost any other company would offer goodwill gestures when things like this happen. But instead, Ryanair takes a different approach. When you go to Ryanair's social media, you'll find that instead of helping out, they're making memes from their passengers' complaints. For example, when passengers complain they paid for a seat but didn't get a window, Ryanair simply responds, read that again but slowly, you paid for a seat. Another asked them where their window was, and Ryanair replied, pay for the baggage you've stored under your jumper and then we can talk. One of their most viral posts was when a customer complained about the very narrow stairs Ryanair used, and said, I'll bring my own stairs next time. But Ryanair responded, bring your own plane next time. Some people question...
At Ryanair, I'll bring my own stairs next time. Bro, I feel like you got to be have you guys ever like at a multi-million or billion-dollar corporation and complained to them before? I feel like I've never done that on social media. Because in any instance, I feel like they're not really going to care. I'm not saying it's pointless because sometimes it does matter. But like a lot of the time people will be like, at Ford, my car blew up. Like they're going to reply.
I'll bring my own stairs next time. But Ryanair responded, bring your own plane.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Next time. Some people questioned, should a company be responding this way instead of apologizing? But another said, they charge extra for everything except Twitter roasts. No regular airline would ever do this, but in Ryanair's case, it's actually a genius strategy. Ryanair has millions of followers, and their troll posts regularly go viral, which directly leads to more ticket sales. They've embraced their reputation of being stingy.
And then I also think it helps people laugh at how bad the flights are. Because when you follow them on social media, they openly make fun of themselves and other people about how bad their plane is. And then you actually pay $20 to go on their flight, and you're like, there's no window seat. I just got taxed $10 to fucking get a water, right? You laugh it off, right? Instead of being annoyed, you're like, this is Ryanair. They told me it would be this way, and it's this way. It's funny, right? So it still sucks, but it's like, it's how you perceive that, I guess, pain or upset feeling that you have.
As it means everyone thinks of them as the low-cost...
Yeah, it's like an experience. You're paying for the shitty flight, and you're enjoying the shitty flight, rather than paying for a flight and it being shitty.
Airline. And as a result of all these strategies, Ryanair carries far more passengers than any other airline in Europe. Their typical airfare goes for less than €30, and they've sold flights for as little as $4.99. They might not treat you like royalty.
Bro, that's insane. A fucking I know it's €5 or £5. Bro, less than a $10 bill. You could board a plane and it'll take you to a different country. That's absurd. But €5, that's still less than $10.
They're pretty honest
yeah, it's like $7.5 maybe.
About what they are. Love them or hate them, they've given people the option to fly all over Europe at prices that are often cheaper than train tickets. So there's no doubt they've made air travel affordable for millions of people. However, remember how Michael...
You can do mystery flights? I've always wanted to do that. I don't know if... Is Ryanair the company that does that? I feel like there's a lot of companies that do that shit. I've always wanted to do that, though. How do they prepare you in that sense? I think it's like kind of like a travel package deal. I don't know if that's Ryanair specifically, but I've seen this one company. Mystery Flight Company. What is the name of that company? Doesn't tell you where you're going. Bro, it's just talking about the flight that went missing in the ocean. Mystery Flight Companies. Bro. Magical Mystery Tours? That's not it. It's like a pink plane. Wizz Air. It is Wizz Air. It's a pink plane. I knew it was a pink plane. All right. Yeah, like Wizz Air, they bring, it's like, why is this a really low quality image? They bring you anywhere, but I'm like, how do they book like your room and board as well? Like if I'm going, hey, I'm going to pay to go on this mystery flight. Well, they're going to charge me a specific amount. So that kind of gauges where I'm going to go, you know? If it's like $400, I know I'm not going to fucking Russia. You know, I'm not flying that far. How upsetting that would be. Yo, what's up, YouTube? We're taking Wizz Air. We're taking Wizz Air. I wonder where we're gonna get. I wonder where we're gonna get dropped off. Wow, I'm super excited, guys. What do you think it'll be, Brooke? Brooke's like, I think we're gonna go to the Caribbean. What about you, Joe? I don't know. I think maybe we're gonna end up in Italy. The plane lands. North Korea? Oh, no. It's just fucking like actual Wizz Air. Wizz Air, you really did this. They should do that, bro. Wizz Air should have, like, because it's always a good destination. Wizz Air should do something where it's like they rip 10 flights in a day and one of them is like bad. Like you're really fucking drawing straws here. Like one of them's bringing you to like the worst place ever. Somewhere where it's just like, yeah, you don't want to be here right now. This is going to be really rough.
Compared their efficiency to McDonald's? Well, that's because McDonald's pioneered something called the Speedy Service System, which is genius. Just click this video now.
Yeah, they drop you off in the middle of like a desert. Hope you have your vaccinations for the mosquitoes. Might get malaria. What? That would be fucking awesome, though. I wouldn't even be upset. If I took a Wizz Air airline flight and I was like, damn, dude, I really think we're going to be going to like Italy. I get dropped off in like the middle of nowhere in like Kazakhstan. I feel like that'd be awesome, no? Like just having no idea where you're going. What do you pack, though? You don't know if you're going warm. Do they tell you? Like if you're going warm or cold? Oh, fuck, should I do that for a vlog one day? That sounds so fun. To go on like a Wizz Air. It's in Europe. But I feel like they only probably take you to places in Europe. Does that make sense? Like, I doubt they're flying you, like, you take Wizz Air, and then they fly you to, like, fucking rural Colorado. Like, I doubt that. So, no Quebec? No. That would be really funny, though. Guys, I'm really excited to go on Wizz Air. Oh, my God. Where are we landing? There's no lights. Why is there, like, an unfinished hotel in the middle there? And a bunch of military vehicles just driving around rural streets. Oh. We're in North Korea. All right, that was a fire video. Jay for the 5. New to streaming, what would be your best advice for a new streamer? Cross-platform posting, consistency for sure as well. And then it's just trial and error, man. That's all it is. Dingle, thank you for the 67 subs, you fucking beast. Frank Tip, if you got a sub, thank you for the 67 subs. Dingle_9, my fucking goat. Thank you for the fucking 67 subs. 2X, thank you for the 3 subs as well. Wax and Betty for the sub. Real Retro and Neptune Lyle for the sub. Fuck for the 3. Not to drop it up, I want to say you saved me. Well, I'm glad I'm able to help, man. I hope you're doing all right. Trust and Org for the sub. Range over the 3. What'd you think on Wendy's Spicy Nuggets? Love them. Their barbecue sauce is fire as well. I hate Alexis. Cam and Def for the sub flight for the 3. Yeah, I saw that video. I already read that. Dingle! Thank you for the fucking 67 subs. Dingle_9, you fucking go. I don't know why I just got 67 subs from 2 fucking people today. What are we doing? 67 fucking gifteds. Out of the fucking pocket, dude. What are we doing, man? 67 subs? Because it's the funny number. I feel like that whenever I get dropped big gifteds, it's always 67 subs. And he typed 6-7. Your only chats are 6-7. And whatever this is. Can you give me HIV? I know that's about the Papa Meat video. 6-7, can you give me HIV? And then brother says, I'm just going to drop 67 subs in chat. My God. Yeah, that's the Papa Meat video about people that were wanting HIV. Yo, Dingle, though. Thank you for the fucking subs, boss. Dub in the chat. Gecko for the sub. All right. Chat, we don't really have time for the other 2 videos here, so we could just yap to chat for the next fucking, like, 5 minutes, but I do have to dip in, like, 5. Little rundown of the videos, or the schedule, chat. Today was a shorter React day. It's my anniversary with Brooke. I don't want to stream till, like, 10 at night. Tomorrow, I'm not live. Sunday's going to be a React day at, like, 1 or 2 EST, as well as a mystery snack box review. We have Pop Snacks. We ordered, like, $120 worth of mystery snack boxes. 1 big snack box and 1 drink box we're going to review. And we might have something special for, like, a little watch party as well Sunday. Monday, we're going to do random game day, backyard football, Blippo Plus, Just Dance, and Baby Steps. Tuesday, I'm not live. Wednesday's horror games and horror reacts. We're going to do Paranormal Torment and Knock on Window. Thursday, Unbans and Games of Chat's Choice, as well as probably finishing Baby Steps. Friday is React Day and the charity stream for DRIF for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Saturday is going to be, next Saturday, Block Wars. Can't release my team's names yet, but we have a fire team. I think it'll be really fun. And then random games. Next Sunday, reacts, and then Indigenous Peoples Day, the 13th of October, we're going to rip Little Nightmares 3 with Chris, and we're going to finish it the 14th. Then the 15th, doing a random react / game day, and then I'm gone for 5 days. I'll be streaming one of them for Twitch Rivals, but then we'll be back and grinding out stream. I'll also be vlogging and posting on YouTube while I'm gone every day. Hannibal for the sub, Cade, and Gecko for the sub. Dingle, thank you for the fucking 67 subs. Appreciate the fucking subs there, brother. Silk Song, we're not running Silk Song anymore. But yeah. That was a W stream. I will be posting on YouTube today and tomorrow as well, even though I'm not live. Should we tune in on the FaZe subathon? I thought they were all doing a cumulative subathon. Real quick. Last thing I'll say before we end stream. I thought they were all doing a cumulative subathon where, like... Why'd you think that? What'd you say? I said, why'd you think that? Oh. I thought they were doing a cumulative... She scared the fuck out of me. I thought they were doing a cumulative subathon. Also, you look pretty. Thank you. I thought they were doing a... Look at her. Aw. Drinking her coffee.
In my Snoopy mug.
Last thing I gotta say. I thought the FaZe guys were doing a cumulative subathon where one sub to any of them increased the timer, but it's not. So then, theoretically, some of the FaZe guys could, like, end their subathon before other people. And I'm wondering how that'll go. But yeah. W stream chat. Hope you all had fun. I had a fun time streaming. Hope you guys had a fun time watching. If you have any videos you want to watch, games to play, as I always say, videos.games.app. I find most of the videos that I watch games that I play. So if you have any videos you want to watch, games to play, send those there. But outside of that, chat, W stream. Appreciate y'all. Next charity stream, remember, next Friday. And I'll be live next Sunday. Not live tomorrow. Sunday, we're going to be live. Doing reacts, mystery snack box review, and a little watch party surprise that I cannot release yet. But, yeah, let's fucking raid. Who do we want to raid? I don't know. Who do we want to raid? Sneak's playing Peak with a bunch of streamers. We could raid Sneak Snag. We could raid Sneak Snag. We could raid... Who else? Jynxzi? Yo, we literally were just watching a Jynxzi video. Should we raid Jynxzi? Yeah, we could raid Jynxzi. Why not, bro? We were just watching a video about Jynxzi. Even though he's a, you know, fucking huge streamer, why not? Seth for the 5. Izzy and I say happy 4 years to you and Brooke. Thank you.